Dean, I have this like informal rule where I kind of like to finalize the show sheet like outside of breaking news, like big stuff around lunchtime, and that way, I can get the photos, organize them. Like building a show sheet, it can be a difficult thing, right? To get all this information, to organize it, to be able to present it, effectively,
Sure.
and it takes time. It's not like it just happens, right? And to be fair, I think the thing that Ben sent me, the Star Trek thing, was a bit late. But Marco's sending me shit up until like 10 minutes before the show. And I'm like, my brother in Christ. Like, hang on, no, time out. Let me dig into this a little bit. My thing is always like, you know, lunchtime cutoff, but also crop the goddamn screenshots so that it's like one less thing I have to do. And this motherfucker sends me 2 screenshots. 30 minutes to showtime.
All I know is if you ever join 1-6-Fix, you don't have to do any work. You just come on, just enjoy yourself, have a good time. But, the Oxfather rules with the iron fist.
That's right.
Yeah.
He really does.
He squeezes that cock pretty tight.
Oh, God. I guess we talk about it now in the cold open because I don't want to have to add it to the slides. But we got Vince Carter, which is really exciting. Toronto Raptors superstar. Look at this. 239. Oh, that didn't add it to the screen. There we go. Look at this. This is a pickup for you, Marco?
Yeah, so this was initially advertised with a bit of ambiguity because I think they kind of said this would be an Enterbay online exclusive, but then it drops on BBTS. So Equan and I were both kind of reeling because I had already put my pre-order in, paid a little bit more than it would be. Yeah, with the Nets jersey as well. And I guess this sculpt is done by a pretty famous 1/6 artist as well. And I think everything about this package is pretty dope. And I've got the hoop already ready to rock. So this will absolutely be an ad for me. But I'm in the process of trying to cancel my my order via Interbay. Just saying, hey, go ahead.
I was just gonna. Who the fuck is this?
Vince Carter, bro.
Vinsanity, half man, half
You don't know
amazing.
who Vince Carter is? He's amazing.
Half man, half velociraptor, all air. So you said
He was
they
all
got
the hype for Toronto back in the day.
Why is his head so dark compared to his rest of his body?
Whoa, you can't say
It's a prototype. It's a prototype. What did he say?
I mean, that's like dark. That's like dark. That's like, now I know what y'all are saying with the Asmus Gandalf the White. I get it now. I mean, that's pretty dark.
100%.
Wow.
Suntan.
Very
Gandalf.
dark.
How dark, Ben?
I will not fall into this trap. There's a goblin in this show sheet. I'm
Oh,
already
no.
prepared.
He's got his defenses up. Shields are raised.
Wow. Deflectors to max. Jesus.
Oh my god.
Oh, man, I can't wait to see you guys this week. It'll be fucking awesome.
Are you an angel?
What?
An angel. I heard the deep space pilots talk about them. They're the most beautiful creatures in the universe.
Hello there. We are tonight's entertainment.
We would be honored if you would join us.
He's got a billion toys.
You brought in the doll collection.
These are not dolls, Jim. These are commodities. Same as gold or oil.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now listening to the Collecting Weekly podcast.
Joey, locking the artillery power.
This is the true form of floor gang right here. Very nice. YouTube.com/collectingweekly. Thank you very much. That's very cool. Big.
Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm very glad Eddie's not here today.
I'm Ben.
Welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. It's a weekly podcast where my friends and I talk about the things that matter the most to us this week in collecting.
That's right. We want to thank everyone out there in TV land, wherever you're watching us. Thank you for supporting and listening to us every week, whether you're on the YouTube studio audience, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, wherever. Thank you.
Wow, we have a lot to talk about tonight. Equan says y'all still don't use AI to make the show. Of course we do. Equan, of course we do.
I'm not even a real person.
He's just all nut. We have a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. it should be a good show. But Dean, before we get into it, we have a very special segment that we kick off all of our best shows with.
Yeah, you guys ready?
Yes.
It's new this week.
Yeah. What'd you get new this week? I finally have caught up on all my Sonic figures for now.
There's no chance ever.
There's another wave coming out with a new
course.
figure, a new character they haven't made yet. Or this company has the license for now. So any figures that exist of that character are not in this line. So, but the newest character doesn't come out for another couple months. But I picked up the Infinite from, what game is he in? Sonic. Forgot what it's called, but it's one of the newer games. I think it's like 2 or 3 games ago. But yeah, he's a jackal. His name's Infinite. He's cool. Cool looking anyway. It's actually definitely a nod to Berserk Guts, Berserk armor. It's really funny. But I picked him up finally. Thank you. Shout out to Rainer. And then I picked up the new PewDiePie Shaker Cup from G Fuel. PewDiePie is a new dad, and they came out with a new Shaker Cup, and I wanted to support him. And I don't know what kind of benefits he gets from me ordering this, but I was like, you know what? I got all the PewDiePie merch, the keyboard, the mouse, the headphones. Might as well have a cup, so I got the cup.
Yeah,
Floor gang.
Yeah, floor gang.
Does when you close that cup, does it line up perfectly every time? Because that would really bother me if it didn't.
Oh, you know what? That's a good question.
That would like actually ruin it for me.
Oh, you fucked it for him.
Hang on, here we go. Let's do like a few opens and closes.
I don't think it lines up at all.
Oh, that does.
That's pretty good right there.
Yeah, that lines up.
It's pretty solid.
In some places it does, and some it doesn't.
Because here it doesn't for sure.
I can't unsee that. And there's like a.
Yeah, I don't think it lines up at all.
Back to the drawing board, Pewds.
I saw some of those at the Calgary Sex Show last year, but I don't think it's
Oh
for the
my
same.
That's what I thought it was. I was like, wow, the G Fuel fleshlight.
Pretty
I'd buy
sure
one of
not
those.
quite the same thing. Also,
Big
the Sonic
pee-pee.
figure looks like it comes with one of those old school ring pops. I don't know if you guys ever used to rock those. Candy on the ring? Heck yeah.
I think you're the only one with a mouth fixation, Ben.
Wow.
Don't worry about it.
Nasty slut.
Hate to see it. Why is your tongue so pink, Ben? Don't worry about it.
Whoa.
Ew,
All right,
why
on
is
to
it
the
so
next.
dark? Well, we'll get there. So I picked up the Asmus upgrade set. We talked about this a few weeks ago. Dean had sent me $20 to purchase it. Those fuckers took near a damn week to send it, but then they finally did, and it got there like in a day. So,
Bro, honestly, I thought this was a pre-order, and you were like, "Oh, it gets here today." I was like, "What the fuck?" I thought you just
Asmus-
talked about this thing.
Asmus is weird. They, for the Crown Gandalf, the V1, we'll talk about the V2 here in a little bit, but they did a pre-order, but lately it seems like a lot of their stuff is like pretty much good to go when they put it on the website. But it's a great upgrade. I'm not in any way, shape, or form saying that it's comparable to the InArt, but for Asmus, which is, you know, a company that doesn't have such lofty aspirations, it's a massive improvement from them going from, I think, like the 2018-2019 Crown Series sculpt to this one. They've really improved quite a bit. In 4
Yeah,
years,
it's. I mean, I've seen the InArt next to the Crown Series, and that's night and day. This is also pretty night and day. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see this
get
next to the.
both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be really cool because I think this is a really solid choice. If you don't want to spend that $500, I mean, to get a Crown Series and this is probably what $100 short of that.
Hang on, we'll get there.
Okay.
I'll put the cart before the horse. You could get the Crown Gandalf, like if you buy the one that I had, you could get this plus that for, you know, if you were going the used route. They're about $175, so $275.
What?
They're really cheap right now.
Are they really?
Cheap. Because everyone's trying to get InArt, and so there's a buyer's
true.
market.
I didn't even think of that.
Mm-hmm. And what's really nice now, I haven't tried this, but I'm 99% sure it'll work. They ditched the magnet system. The Crown Series had like a little ball joint with a big magnet on the top. And so I believe if you have the Hobbit Gandalf, you can actually port this one onto that one as well. And that figure is even cheaper than $175 because that's like 2 Gandalfs ago. So lots of upgrade options for Asmus, and of course their Gandalf the White upgrade fits their original one. So in a way, I think it's kind of odd. I don't say odd, but it would have been nice if this was a free upgrade. I understand why it can't be. I 100% understand why it can't be. But it's like they're pushing these upgrades, and again, the cost does add up. But if you're already in the ecosystem, it's not too bad. And they gave you the free hat as well. So I also picked up. We talked about this last night. This is my all-time Gandalf Grail. There was a seller on eBay that had this posted back in July. Obviously, everything with my son happened in August. And about a week and a half ago, he had taken it off of eBay. Now, this is the Viper Gandalf 1/6 figure. You may know Viper as the lead product designer of InArt currently. And so I was trying to research the price that this guy had sold it for. But it wasn't in the ended auctions, and it wasn't in the sold auctions. And there was another guy that had posted one for more. And I thought what had happened was that guy had got it, was like, I'm going to sell it. And so I asked him, I was like, hey, did you sell yours? Because, like, I don't see that it's sold on eBay. Like, did you sell on the groups, or, like, what happened? And he had said that he had, I guess someone had backed out of a deal. They were going to do an off eBay deal. And he was like, I have it still. He's like, let me just get eyes on it and we'll talk numbers. I don't really want to go into how much I paid, but it was less.
Can you tell me how much it normally goes for?
So the last ones that I've seen sold in the groups were about $1,200.
Oh my, okay.
And I paid way less than that. Mm-hmm. And I think when it first went up for order, it was $800, and I paid less than that. So this is like sealed. The guy literally opened it just to take the photo, never took it out of the box. But tomorrow before after dark, about 9:00, we'll do an unboxing of this, and I'm excited for you guys to see it at OxCon, because this is like, the highest end figure I think that I'll probably ever own.
Cool.
Only 200. I believe only 200 of these were made. It's like real leather. Supposedly it has like silver accents. I don't know if that means die cast or if it's actually true silver. But this is supposed to be a pretty cool figure. It has like lifetime warranty from Viper, which I'm not sure how he warranties that working for InArt now. But yeah, just the box alone though, it's like leather. It's like real nice. I kind of just like touched the box. I was like, damn, this is.
You could see the stitching on the side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fucking fancy.
It looks a bit like a Gandalf handbag from here specifically, but
I'd be down.
You might have just answered this, but you threw a lot of information our way just now.
Yeah.
Was this licensed, or he just...
No. Okay. So the story goes, according to Asmus, we talked about this on our show. When Asmus got word of this figure, they put up a press release, and they're like, Viper Studios wanted to work with us in collaboration on a Gandalf the White. The team up did not go through, and they decided to just go ahead and release the figure anyways. And so he made 200 of the figure, and Asmus was basically like, if we see any online, we're going to pursue legal action against the retailers. Like, they basically tried to shut the project down.
Wow.
Obviously that didn't work, but they were pretty upset about it when it happened. So I've had my eye on this figure for 2 years, and I guess I was just kind of had like a YOLO moment. I guess I've been having a pretty rough month and a half, and I kind of needed to pick me up. So, great deal on this. Again, below the initial asking price. It's something that I've wanted for 2 years, and I'm excited. And I think also it would be nice to, again, for the channel to show like, hey, this is the Gandalf the White by Asmus. This is the Viper. This is the InArt. This is the new Asmus Gandalf the Grey. I don't think there's really any channels that are having all 4 of those to compare. So.
Yeah, it's funny. Equan brings up a good point. Equan says Viper actually touched this figure, because with the InArt, you don't really know.
Yeah, supposedly Viper made all of these. I don't know if it's just a one-man operation, but it's like it's supposed like him or like a very, very intimate team. Like, it's not, and allegedly I saw this in a comment. I don't know if this is accurate or not, but someone said that Viper color match the fabric and like match the fabric to what was used on screen. I don't really know how you would do that because I don't think the costumes are on display. Like you don't just grab them and color match them, but I don't know. It looks cool. So I'm honestly genuinely happy with both of my Asmus Gandalf the Whites, but you know, it's kind of something that's always piqued my interest. You know, I hope that I enjoy it as much as, you know, I've expected to, but I think for me the hype is so high on this that like it has to really be like, you know, a 100 out of 10 for me to really.
I'm a bit scared for this figure. I'm scared for it living up to your expectations, but excited to see what you think. Two questions. Number one, does it have the pants prints? And number two, do you think that the directions are in English?
I actually don't think there is directions, and Gandalf the White, he doesn't have pants prints, so perhaps Viper skated out of that just early enough. But yeah, let's check in with the chat here for a second. We got Toy Mafia 12-inch Moose Stream, who is coming to OxCon. Sam Gist, let's all witness the magic that is CW. Alvin J, John the Everyday Collector, Mark P. Let's see here, Baby Boy, this VC hot toy is fire. Happy Tuesday, boys. Eddie Aero Maestro, Alvin J, Calvin the Loki Collector. We also have Calvin's actually coming down for OxCon too. TX Boy 210, Jason Nelson. Jason's coming to Thursday's film showing. Pablo Meza, SpongeBob SquareBalls, Tim Harvey. What's up, everyone? Am I the only person in the collecting community that's excited for the Caustic Plastic Nosferatu figure? I haven't heard anyone else besides Dean Knight review it. Tim, let me know if that's a new figure or an old figure. I'm not quite sure about that one, but maybe we can talk about it later. Eddie Aero Maestro, Badfish, John Ortiz. Let's see, Danny Lee, Sean Forrester in the chat, Sam Gist, Jazzy. What figure is this? It's the Viper Studios Gandalf the White. In fact, let me just pull up a photo of it, just for context. Apparently Hot Toys did something. Dean, can you check Hot Toys for me real quick?
I would, but it's too late for the show sheet, my guy.
Yeah, thanks, Dean.
Well, there's a difference between breaking news and a screenshot of an RSVP
well played.
email.
You know, I do wonder if
here.
it's... I don't
Get
think
him outta
Hot Toys did anything specifically. It might be related to Ahsoka. I'm gonna pause there.
Pause. Yeah. So this is the figure there. How fucking dare you, Marco?
50 hours ago was Goblin.
So this
I don't
is
see anything
the
otherwise new. Oh wow.
Okay.
Looks really good.
Yeah. So this is the figure here. So really excited to get a look at it and compare and contrast.
You said 200 made?
Yeah, 200 made, I believe. Let's get into the news. We'll start with a quick update here. So this is from Gregory on 16 Republic, some of the YouTube shorts for people that have the RoboCop 3 in hand. We talked about it last week that some of them, or at least in Sideshow's first take review, it was really silver, and it should have been that sort of blued silver tone. I had mentioned that it likely was the lighting in the Sideshow studio, but a lot of people were freaking out, and a lot of people that do these reviews typically have like those white boxes. And so this is a little bit of an update. I guess it is not pure silver. So quick little update there. Ben's typing the loudest message of all time.
Sorry.
You're good.
Thought I was muted.
No, you're good. Anyone want a quick take on this? If not, I just wanted to update and kind of correct the record from last week.
Yeah, it honestly, it's wild what a good lighting will do. Because they had some harsh light on it then if it was looking that silver. So it's nice to see that collectors are going to get what they were expecting.
All I'm hoping is that mine ships anytime here. I've had Black Panther, Peacemaker, and RoboCop all paid off and just waiting for Sideshow to ship, and I've only got the notice for Peacemaker so far. So I'm like, but I think I'm most hyped for the RoboCop. So yeah, cross your fingers for me, guys. Hopefully it comes soon.
Soon.
Yeah, please, for the love of God, if you spoil, even as a joke, anything Ahsoka, I will ban you from this chat.
Don't be that guy.
Doctor Strange update, the 1/6 scale collectible figure. This one, I want to say, had that blurred out portrait of the additional accessory portrait. It was very clear what it was. We're excited to unveil the head sculpt that captures the likeness of Doctor Strange with a third eye inspired by his appearance during the post-credit scene in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. This finely crafted head sculpt features a calm and confident expression framed by slightly furrowed brows. Stylized hair gives people a mysterious and unfathomable feeling. And I'll be honest, like, I haven't seen the film, but I did watch the end credit scene. I don't know if this occurs during the actual film, but in the credit scene, he's making a very expressive face. He's kind of like freaking out, or at least that's what the vibe I got. So the neutral face to me seems perhaps a bit odd. I'm curious what you guys who have seen the film, what you think about this.
So if you recall, it ends with him getting this and freaking out, and then there's another post-credit scene, and he's normal, and then some other weird shit's going down. So the two like don't really match, but it's a bit more of a stoic look. So maybe it's from that post-credit scene. Yeah, that was whole.
I played myself. I saw the one, and I was like, oh, that was cool.
But I will say the figure looks really good, but it's just one of those really high-priced Marvel figures like the Thor. I think this was $325, maybe a bit more, where they were kind of pushing the upper bounds of what collectors may pay. And yes, it does come with 2 head sculpts, but I just can't justify adding a Strange at that price or another Strange. But what do the rest of you guys think?
Honestly, for me, this is the definitive Strange at this point. I think it looks the best, especially with regards to the standard head sculpt, not necessarily the third eye. But even still, like, the likeness, I think, is incredible. I loved Multiverse of Madness, though. I got to see it with my mom and some family, and like it's got some, nostalgia in there now for me, some good memories. I also thought it was a badass movie. The one thing that I didn't do, collector fail, was I didn't pre-order it because when I saw the film, we weren't quite at that stage of things going blue screen that quickly, and so I was like, I'll hold off and pre-order it later. And now where I normally can get from in Canada here, at least through Sideshow, is unavailable for this guy. So I'm a little disappointed at the moment. I'm on the wait list for this one and the Scarlet Witch. Obviously, there are other places I can get it if I need to. So.
Did you check Pop Culture yet, Ben?
I haven't yet. I have not yet.
They have been blowing out so many figures. Like there's so many sales on there. So a lot of the figures that are waitlisted already on Sideshow, you could find for just about the retail cost of Sideshow, if not a little less. So definitely go check that out.
Heck yeah. I'm really hoping that we also get a chance to see the Dead Strange June. Now that we've seen kind of this guy coming, like, let's see the Dead Strange next. That'd be cool. So what do you think, Dean?
Yeah, I don't dislike this one, but I could not disagree with Ben more about this being the definitive Strange. Okay. I think the first Doctor Strange is the best head sculpt. But I think in terms of like definitive, I would say probably Infinity War with like all the swords and stuff and the spell effects, and that's
the one I have, and it's a sick figure.
Is that the one that has the multiple arms? I guess.
No, he does. That was a third party accessory.
Yeah. Well, that was a third-party accessory.
Yeah. I would love to add that one.
The Dead Strange has all the arms.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. You know what he does have, Ben? He has a backdrop that has those arms, but it's not like three-dimensional.
That's terrible.
But this is great. I mean, there was a time, I'm sure you guys remember, the only Doctor Strange was the first one.
Cool money, bro.
And it was like $800. And Hot Toys that year had said like, well, if people's outfits don't really change, we're not making new figures.
And they fucking made new everybody.
And then they made new figures of everybody. We're like, okay, I guess. But everybody was like, well, I guess they're not going to do Doctor Strange. And so it's nice to see Doctor Strange. And as far as I know, we're going to keep seeing him. I don't think Benedict is sick of playing the character anytime soon.
We will be on our 10th Doctor Strange before we get a Wong. That's for sure.
Yeah. So
that's just Wong.
You Wong for saying that. I do like it. I think each version of the figure that has come out has offered something new, whether it's like this one's like an actual new outfit or different accessories like the ones from the Spider-Man movie, then the Endgame one versus the first one. So it's not like it's like I'm sick of seeing Doctor Strange yet. Like, let's just say I know each suit is different, but like Iron Man, it's like, okay, I got it. You know what I mean? There's 50 of them, guys. Come on. The back flaps open. Gee, thanks. You know what I mean? But the Doctor Strange, it's every outfit is very intricate. The belts, all the hoops and tassels, and I think it's beautiful. I would personally just go back and get the Endgame one though.
Are Doctor Strange spoilers on the table, or should we avoid that?
No, we can't talk any spoilers apparently.
I know it's a
Y'all
hot
are
button
idiots.
topic.
Y'all are idiots, to be honest. Bro,
Can I say it?
I do not think that first head sculpt is better. I'm looking at that right now, Dean.
The Titanic is not a spoiler because it's fucking American history, and Darth Vader being Anakin Skywalker is like a part of American culture. You can't compare Mask of the Phantasm spoilers to fucking Darth Vader and the Titanic. That's just way different leagues.
Okay, so I'm gonna drop a spoiler here then from this film. They should have given us Professor X. I know he only shows up for 3 seconds.
Wow,
but
I didn't know he
that
was
would
in
have
this
been.
movie.
Well,
wow.
You had your time. You had your time.
Just kidding. I'm not gonna dock you for that. Let's see here. We got tweaking William Dafoe here. He was released, the Green Goblin. This is the classic suit. You know, I don't know if this portrait is good, and I don't know if it's bad. I just don't know. I feel like, you know, perhaps it looks better in person is that whole rhetoric is getting to me because this looks bad, but I feel like it's not bad. I guess like in person, I imagine it's going to be better. I haven't really been a big fan of a lot of the blogger photos lately, but I don't know. And a lot of people on Instagram were talking about this today that they thought it looked terrible. I just don't. I hope that it is just like the something with the camera, the focal length. I think the teeth look excellent though. I don't know if they're accurate to William Dafoe's teeth, but I like the color that they have. I like the sculpting on them. It just something, you know, when they have that photo of the in-hand prototype versus this, there's just something different, and I think it has to be the camera. But I'm curious what you guys think about this release, if you think the portrait's fine.
Wow, a lot of silence.
Actually, Fred, I will give you that. I think the Titanic is technically English history, but I feel like in America we do learn about that, like in school. But I'll give you that.
Yeah, it only left from New York to wherever the fuck it was going.
No, I think it was coming to.
No, it left New York.
No, it ended in New York. It was on its way to New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. I don't think it started there.
I think it was
because when Rose sees the Statue of Liberty for the first time when she's on the boat at the end, wrapped in what's his name's
left
blanket.
from Cobb, from Southampton and Cherbourg.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that is.
Well,
Look at that. We
I don't
learned.
know.
Fern
Something
knows
new.
more about. Well, you know,
Love to see
immigrants are usually more into.
I think it, you know, Dean. I think it might actually be a part of the test he had to take. So
That's
that
what
actually. Fern didn't see Ellis Island when he immigrated, though. He saw the Rio Grande.
What did he say?
I was about to say something so fucked up.
Please say it.
No, I really can't.
Private chat it.
Okay.
But let me say this. Let me address this comment here. Sean, first off, you tune in every week. I love you. And please don't take this the wrong way. But I hate this comment like so much. How many folks are going to use the unmasked head sculpt? I think most will keep it in the box. Look, whether you like it or not, there's probably like a $20 to $50 part of this figure that is that portrait, right? And I had this discussion on Instagram yesterday with the book from from Gandalf in art. The last page, the only fucking page that you see in the book is on screen, and they don't have that right. And everyone's saying, well, you're never going to see it. It's the inside of a 1/6 book. And it's like, no. It's literally the only page that the book goes through, the movie shows, and it's not accurate. Like, you're paying for this, regardless of whether you think it's important. A portion of the $530 for the Gandalf is that book. And a portion of, I think Mark, you said it was $350 for this, or someone, maybe you didn't say that, that's what I figure, but a portion of the price point is this portrait. So I hate that idea. But
I was wondering. Go ahead and finish your thought.
No. He said it does look good in his opinion, but I'm just saying I hate that. I feel like as collectors we're conditioned to like just accept it. And I know, Dean, that you've mentioned this as well. It's like in the Patreon chat, or maybe it was the small talk chat, but it's like we deal with this bullshit and we always say like speak with your wallets. That's what we always endorse. And then it's like, oh, but I bought it anyways, right? Yeah. And obviously this is not that scenario because you already have the money and you've probably already paid it off. These are the final product photos. It's a little late for that, but
yeah,
I just, you know,
I
hate that comment. But Sean, I love you. You're a great guy.
I will say, this is not a disappointing head sculpt.
I'm so glad you did not say that.
I told you I couldn't say it. So I think that this, for how late it is, I mean, this figure is literally about to come out. And it's like, hey guys, here's the fucking thing we teased 6 months ago. I think it looks really good. I definitely see Willem Dafoe. It's almost not creepy enough because that motherfucker gets weird.
Go to the last photo and then tell me it's not creepy enough.
Sorry, just to correct.
That's pretty good.
I believe we did see this portrait when it was solicited. I just want to correct that point there.
We did, yeah.
Wait, say that again?
The William Dafoe portrait. This one we had seen. The one that we hadn't seen was the eye portrait by Doctor Strange. Initially, they had blurred that one out.
Yeah, initially.
I thought this was also blurred.
This was blurred out initially, like Ben's saying.
Oh, was it?
Initially, it
okay,
was. Yeah.
Hang on. First, you get a point, and then also I must do one thing.
A man can only admit when he was wrong and ask forgiveness.
Bro, that clip never gets old. I love it. Okay, so yeah. I remember not seeing this until like
you
right
are correct, Dean.
And I think it's really good. I would say that's. I mean, is this in hand or is this still a prototype?
It's being released. This is
it's about to come out looking like this.
Yeah,
I would say this is like a good 85-90% likeness to Willem Dafoe. It's really good. And with how expressive the sculpt is, that's pretty hard to do. So I think this is a fucking home run, dude. I like it.
Can I clarify one point really quick though? So kind of the truth is somewhere here in the middle.
Yeah.
So initially it was blurred out, and then they showed us via prototype what it looks like, and then now we're seeing the final. So I'll share the link with what the prototype looked like, so maybe we can compare. But it's a bit different from the proto, just a little bit softer, I'd say.
Yeah, go ahead and pull that link up, and I'll get it in studio. TK592 says William Deneau. Fern says figures that come with unmasked portraits are so much more expensive because of all the likeness licensing, so you lose money if you don't use it. Sean Forster says it's the I'm a bit of a scientist myself look. What were we doing?
I'm a bit
Dean?
of a scientist myself.
Yeah, this is just the product photo, Marco.
I don't think that sounded like Willem Dafoe at all, but I tried.
Yeah, that you know what, Ben? That's actually a minus point.
Oh damn!
But Dean, what were we doing the other day? We were in the back room, and y'all were all dogging on me, and I was like, "Do you know how much I sacrificed?" It makes me smile just thinking about this portrait. I actually kind of like it.
That was so fucking.
I don't remember what we were doing.
I don't remember the context, but it was good. It was so funny.
Sorry, Marco. Please go ahead. Yeah, I think what you sent me is just the product, like the sideshow. That's what I was looking at when I had said that it was.
So these are the blogger photos that we're looking at now. What's on Sideshow? Were the release photos. What's on Sideshow were the prototype photos that were updated because initially it was blurred out. I know that's confusing, but
sure.
that's the chain of events there.
Yeah, because when Dean had said it, I remember this little thing was blurred out, and it's like, I mean, we know what William Dafoe looks like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not really hiding anything.
Do you think the pictures on Sideshow look as good or better than this?
A little better, I would say. A little more detail in the face, but I know we're going to talk about it later. It's hard to, once the blogger photos drop, they're a lot of times under different lighting circumstances, and it's hard to say if it's really degraded as much as you may think. But it kind of feels that way initially, for sure. Especially with that last picture, which was a terrible angle. He just looks all types of fucked up.
So I think this is actually a great head sculpt. but I don't think
Okay.
it's great for No Way Home. I actually think it's great for Spider-Man 1. To me, he doesn't look aged up enough. Willem Dafoe is getting to be an older gentleman at this point. And he's definitely, you can see the miles on him. And this sculpt, to be honest, looks a lot more like the younger representation of Goblin, which I think is still cool, because to Sean Forrester's point, a lot of collectors will want to display this version with the mask on, because they might want to get that hobo goblin with the head sculpt on, which doesn't come with the mask, right? It's got smashed in the movie. He's got his hood up, but the sculpt is out and more present. I kind of hope, though, that they don't use the same sculpt, because I do think it looks too young for the hobo goblin. So hopefully we'll see an update even still. I kind of doubt it, though, unfortunately, just because it's Hot Toys. But I still think it looks like Willem Dafoe. I'm surprised this has got as much heat today as it has. I don't think it's as bad as people are saying. But everybody always says art is subjective. I agree with that up to a certain extent. I also pose the question for us later about head sculpts, because I feel like when the community starts to light these figures on fire, people can start to feel like, oh, well, maybe it's not as good as I initially thought. So if you think it looks good, stick with that. So for sure, I've got more in me.
Yeah.
I'm a long-winded person,
wow.
but I do think this is a badass. I do
A
think this
lot
is
of
a badass figure. A lot of nut in there. My question to the community would be: did you guys end up picking this guy up as just like a singular edition, or with the glider? Does he have to come with the glider to fit in the collection?
Yeah,
this
would be a really odd one to get, unless you really don't have the space. But like, you got to get the glider with this. And I just want to say, this is going to be Mark Pearson's face over here after a few vodkas for sure. But yeah, I think that this one overall, I think I'm leaning towards the hobo goblin as well. Because I think that if you just have it with just the mask on, then he's just kind of like a green blob, and I don't know if that works in figure form. To me, even the pictures of the Fiend that I've seen, that third-party one, something about it doesn't look that great. So I think this look with the sculpt, with him holding the helmet, that's really where you'd want to go. But yeah, I don't have enough data at this point to determine whether this is good or bad. I kind of see the likeness there, but it's tough. It doesn't feel necessarily as strong as a proto.
Yeah, I would agree. So it was a busy few weeks for Hot Toys. Last week we got Chevy Chase. This week we got Green Goblin. And then we also got Electro, which I will stand by the fact that he looks way too cool based on his Amazing Spider-Man 2 look. But I think this portrait is fucking stunning. This is steaming Willie Beeman. I fucking love everything about this portrait. I've seen the movie once, so I don't think I would necessarily need this figure in the collection, and I think I already have a really nice Django for the Jamie Foxx representation, but god damn, this portrait looks fucking good. They really, really did a good job on this portrait, and I still think the electrical effects are kind of silly at 6 scale. I've never really liked them, but if you're someone that's, going all in, like, this display here, I think looks fucking sexy.
You know the worst feeling ever when you decide not to buy a figure and then you see the sculpt come out this crispy and you're like, man, damn it. Because it was a cool figure. It's an awesome actor. The figure looks fantastic. I agree with you. I don't like the plastic bits, but I don't discredit them most of the time anyways. This is an awesome representation of Jamie Foxx to have in the 6 scale collection. So I am very jealous of the folks who have this locked in. And I think it's the best of the line so far, honestly.
Ben, and you're saying like missed out and like decided not to get, but I think that these are going to be around, honestly. Like, I don't know that these are going anywhere. Yeah, it may be gone on Sideshow, but yeah, I'm kind of starting to lean more towards the theory that these figures are around, because I'm seeing a lot of stuff really discounted. And this line, they probably produced a lot, I think. So we'll see. But back to the picture of all three of them, like, it's tough to just get one of the villains if you have to choose one. Like, it's so challenging to just get one. And then with the Spider-Man, if you want to just get one, it's like, it's a slippery slope. This whole line is so slippery. But Dean, how are you feeling about these?
Yeah, it's a solid lineup. I just wasn't a huge fan of the movie. I think the only misstep here is Doc Ock's head sculpts. The Goblin is a banger. the Electro is so good. He's just, to me, a little boring for my collection. It's just like Jamie Foxx in like an exosuit. It's kind of like, I guess. I think with all the electrical effects, especially the one around his face, is very cool if we wanted to do a really cool display. But the 3 of them on a shelf, even just like this, that's pretty solid, dude. That's, I like it. Overall, this is a pretty high rating for me. I would say maybe like if I saw this on a shelf, it's like, that's a solid B plus, maybe an A minus shelf. Yeah, I think especially with the Electro to round it out, thank God they finished, or I guess Sandman and the Lizard we don't have, but I mean 3 of the 4 or 5 is pretty good. So,
and technically you can add those via bases, right? So
yeah. And they did all 3 of the Spider-Man too. So it's like you got one bad guy per. So if you could do a whole display of that movie. For me personally, I just like the movie was good and it's fun to watch, but like it's not the strongest Marvel movie. So I have no interest of going back and buying any of these, but they do look great objectively.
Well said. Well said. At this point, I think all the villains, you could basically, I think we're only waiting for the in-suit Spider-Man scene from this movie, the red and blue one, right?
And we're waiting for Tobey Maguire.
Toby, you're correct.
Yeah, we're waiting. Yeah, waiting for Toby.
Because Garfield came out. Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Damn, so I gotta give them props. So that's, we always give them shit for not completing an ensemble cast and
yeah, that's why I was like, I'm surprised they did all 3 of these.
Well, and now it's the Toby that comes with the Sandman base, right? If you get the super premium one. Am I remembering that correctly, Marco?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So Sandman and Lizard you can add via bases.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Interesting. Very cool. There's also the old Spider-Man black suit that comes with the diorama if you want a different Sandman. I think he's pretty much the same, but there's that. Let's see here. We have the Peacemaker. This one's kind of interesting. With the license holder, there's kind of that whole thing where they don't want their toys to have guns, which is fucking stupid. This show has a lot of guns. And so some of the overseas collectors that have this in hand already have found a way with a heat gun, and I think there's a pin that you have to push out, but you actually can take this pistol out, and it does come with a trigger finger, so a little bit of a kind of sketchy way to get around that, but I appreciate the Hot Toys ingenuity because that's fucking stupid, and this is an adult TV show, this is adult collectibles. I don't understand why he couldn't have his pistol. I still think Eagly looks fucking awful. Maybe the worst animal I've ever seen sculpted.
He's also way too small. Eagles are fucking huge.
He has detachable wings, which is pretty cool though. He can have a pretty huge wingspan, and I think he looks better than Einstein. That's for sure.
100%.
He definitely looks better than Einstein. I like him.
We might have to compare that.
I'm just saying, there's a scene in the show where Eagly, I think he like carries the helmet. That bird right here that we're looking at can't carry that helmet. That's too small of a bird.
And I will say the portrait,
it's the lighting.
The portrait on this, fucking fantastic. I want to say, if memory serves me correct, this was one that they had changed. There was some backlash. If I'm correct, then this is fucking incredible. I still, I'm willing to die on that hill that I'd prefer a jointed body, but
I could have sworn this was jointed.
It started out that way.
It did start off jointed.
Okay, so
with a much worse head sculpt. Like it didn't even look like John Cena.
Yeah, and I remember everyone was like, "What is going on with this?" And then I was bummed that they removed the joints, but I was a big fan of the upgrade on the portrait. Ben, that point is for you, and I'm pretty smitten with how this looks. This looks pretty fucking good, honestly.
dude, I went from watching the show to finishing the show. Like, when I started the show, I didn't love Peacemaker from the Suicide Squad. Like, James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. I thought he was okay, but he was kind of a dick. And, like, he kills what's-his-name at the end, and I'm like, I kind of like that character. And so, I
careful with spoilers.
That's a long time ago now. We're golden. But anyways, so I wasn't totally excited about the show.
Marco, you're the captain now.
But then I freaking loved the show. It was amazing. If you guys haven't given Peacemaker a chance and you have the ability to watch it, I would totally recommend it. It's a very fun watch. And it made me immediately want this figure. And then when the original solicitation came out and it was jointed, it didn't look like John Cena under the helmet, in my opinion, at all. It had the weird tongue hanging out, which there's some scenes where he does dangle his tongue out. So, like, I appreciate the inclusion, but it didn't even look like the man. It drove me nuts. And so I was immediately like, absolutely not. I'm not going to buy that. And then when they gave us this update, it was an immediate pre-order for me. And as I said, of the 3 guys I've got paid off now, this one should be coming here pretty soon. So I'll give you guys an updated thoughts on that when I get the chance, especially if I can figure out a way to get the gun out without wrecking it. I kind of feel like Hot Toys made it easy to get it out, though.
It didn't look difficult.
It didn't look that difficult.
It was like blow dry it. And
it also looks like a completed gun piece. Like, it's not like they stopped the sculpt work under what you can't see. Like, it looks
it's all
like
painted.
It's
he gets a silencer too, right, for the gun?
And I think a magnet that goes, that goes in the bottom. So, like, it's pretty fleshed out. Magazine, yeah. It's pretty fleshed out. So I think it's cool. I cannot wait for this. The only thing that I'll be definitely worried about, just like my Wonder Woman 84, is with that silicon body in hand, I'll be really nervous about bending the arms at all for like any length of time other than a photo, which is cool. He'll still be a very, ominous presence in the collection, even in museum pose.
Sayful, you did miss the Goblin. Just scroll back a few minutes. Doc Smizzle says Peacemaker is hilarious. This character is the first time I've seen John Cena in something very good up-and-coming actor. Look, I'm not a big fan of these wrestlers that come into entertainment. I'm not a big fan of The Rock, but seeing John Cena in the Bumblebee movie completely changed my perspective. I fucking loved him in the Bumblebee movie. I enjoyed him in the second Suicide Squad film. I haven't yet seen Peacemaker. It's on my list, but
bro, you have to watch Peacemaker.
I'm watching Band of Brothers right now. They haven't even started playing music. I'm in episode 3.
Bro. I saw that coming a mile away and I still thought it was fucking funny.
Thanks.
Yeah, Peacemaker, bro. I watched it just because Eddie had given me his HBO and I was like, fuck it, let me check this out. Within the first episode, I was like, oh, this show's fucking brilliant. Honestly, I think the best part of this show is his sidekick buddy.
Vigilante.
Oh,
God.
Fucking fantastic character. I wish, if they make Vigilante, I will come back and get a Peacemaker. But I remember when this first was solicited, it had the jointed arms, which I'm with Zach. I prefer jointed. But I remember it only coming with the one head sculpt with the tongue out. Am I crazy?
Oh, sorry, was there only one head sculpt with the tongue hanging out? Yes, at the time. Which was
at the time.
Which was why I was like, what the hell? Like, this is the only expression?
Yeah, I was like, that's kind of stupid. He does it like maybe in like the intro song. I was like, I'm not getting this. But seeing this completed now as like people are going to get it, I'm like, fuck, I should really get one. Because that's a solid figure. And like Zach was saying, I love John Cena as an actor. I think he's a way better actor than he is a wrestler. Because he's in a lot of funny shit.
He was acting while he was wrestling, right?
No, wrestling's real. How dare you? Yeah, I think this sans the eagle, because again, that just looks terrible. I think this is a badass release. I really love to see it.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, I'm struggling because I really want to like this. I loved the show. I think that was one of my favorite shows I've seen in a long time. It's like funny because that intro song starts, the first time you see it, you're like, this is just going to be incredibly dumb. And then it grows on you. As you watch the episode, it's like, oh, this is like, it's like almost mismatching what's going on in the actual series. So incredible series. Bro, you got to watch it. It's so fucking good. But yeah,
I think I watched it in one sitting because it was so good.
I could see that. I could see that, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, the figure is just so goofy, which is obviously the point of the character, right? He's kind of he's from a different era. Was it 70s or 80s that this comic or this character like was designed like this? But I don't know. I just can't. I'm struggling to want to like the figure, which means it's a pass for now. But if I see enough pictures, who knows? Maybe at the right price.
That's fair, buddy. That's fair. I still think you will regret it. I do. I like it's just like one of those funny kind of out there pieces. It can stand by itself, no problem. You can put it with different characters like Deadpool or like just other comic. I think it's cool. I think you'd like it.
It's a cool figure for sure. Yeah, we'll see.
Not to enable though. Not to enable.
Yeah, no. Enable away.
I felt enabled. Doc Smizzle, the intro dance sequence is one of the best interpretive dance sequences since the inception of interpretive dance. This is one of those last minute additions. We have the Feral Predator 6-scale by Hot Toys. We also have the Kane 6-scale figure, the John Wick 6-scale figure, and I did see this listed that there potentially will be an Ahsoka from the Ahsoka show coming soon. That Sideshow's listed. There's no image, of course, but if you saw the last episode, you kind of understand that. So it looks like we have 4 potentially coming soon announcements. Kind of a shame that we don't have Naru, the female lead of the movie. But this is going to be awesome. I know the NECA one. I think a few people have picked that one up. Kind of it's trickling in to retail. So very excited for the people that have that. And Prey, one of the better movies I've seen in a while. And
trickling in.
I thought you were gonna hit the button.
I had no button to hit. I have nothing to hit.
Well, the Dean has buttons.
There's a button.
So
which button? I don't know.
What did he say? My favorite clip now. Anyways, any takes on this quickly?
It's gonna be fucking huge, so it's probably gonna be real pricey. Probably what? Maybe like
probably 400. Easy.
Like Venom price.
Yeah, easy. 100%.
Carnage was
and
over
expect
5,
joints. Right? I don't know why people are like, I hope it's not jointed.
And this one will have a light up too, and a lot of, different.
A light up.
He has a little laser, doesn't he?
Oh,
does this one does? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think
this one could be quite expensive.
Yeah, it might be pushing it, but this movie was so freaking good too. Everyone seen it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Like this was one that's definitely worth adding just for the movie alone. Just kind of like Peacemaker, where it's like one of the better things that I've seen. And if the figure is really strong, it's going to definitely be a high consideration. But I'm scared of the price the more we talk about it.
Hot take, I liked the girl more than the Predator. I thought it was cool, but I would have rather have at least a 2-pack or her instead.
I think that's the point, though,
instead
right?
of the Predator.
We're rooting for or at least I think we should be. We're rooting for the human, right?
For the prey.
Yeah, she was badass. She was so cool.
She was
I don't know.
I just want that little dog.
All the things.
But then again, Hot Toys fucked up Einstein. I don't want to see what they do to that little beautiful dog.
Looks like an eagle. You hate to see it.
He's got wings. Inart put out a video. Marco, is it worth watching? I saw your message earlier, but it's 240. You shouldn't have to read all the subtitles.
Yeah, I feel like it's probably not worth watching. It felt like there wasn't a whole lot of substance, but it is cool that they're giving us these type of updates because, other 1/6 companies don't really do this often. Is this more of a statue thing? Is that where they're getting this from?
I feel like, also just out of the gate, they wanted to be very communicative. So, the video's Viper in front of a camera. There's subtitles, basically just saying like they appreciate the support. They're continuing on. It's 2 minutes and 40. It's almost 3 minutes. I don't think that we really want to be playing that. But they did also. They're posting so many photos, and I know they're getting ready for Wonderfest. One thing I did actually have a correction, just quickly while we're mentioning Inart from John Queen Studios. We mentioned last week that they had Gandalf listed in the Joker tier. I think it's the silver tier in their post. But on the box, it's the AG tier, the third tier. And that is correct. It is a third tier figure. We did also get sort of the rough approval from John that he wants to come on the show. As a worst case, he said that we can give them questions and they'll answer them and we can sort of read those on air. But essentially, just with Wonderfest, they're super busy right now, and they're obviously trying to push out a bunch of figures for the end of the year.
So he's not coming to OxCon then?
I don't think so. I don't think he wanted to hear any more about the pants prints.
Yeah.
And certainly not about the moth or the book. But they did show some Aragorn photos. I would say, again, for the love of all that is holy, can we please get a white backdrop and a white satin something or other, because these fucking photos are dark as shit. But we do get a good look at some of the accessories. I'll be 100% honest, my expertise with Middle-earth starts and ends with Gandalf and all things Gandalf, but it does look good. Jamie Albert pointed out that the elven brooch is left off of the pictures. And then Daniel Q says that the only difference here between these photos and the ones back in April are the addition of details on the sword straps. Now, I say this and I point these out because it seems like InArt is just posting a lot of stuff lately. They posted the Harry Potter stuff. They post more Gandalf stuff. They're posting. But it doesn't seem to be really stuff of substance. Like, it's cool to look at, but it's like, this figure's already released, or we've already seen reviews of this figure. Like, it's almost like a pat on the back, or like last week with the Batman photos, like what actually is different here. They're not really being very clear about that. So while it is nice to look at, and I certainly do appreciate updates rather than no updates, it's just like, you know, okay, like, that's cool. But thankfully there's eagle-eyed fans like Jamie and Daniel that are able to point out some things that are missing, and hopefully those won't be left out when this figure comes to be released.
Interesting comment from Sayful here that says, crazy their third tier is looking like their best yet, which
I don't quite understand it. You're 100% correct.
What a terrible like approach with the tier system, or at least telling anybody that, because now that's all we're thinking in a lot of ways when we're looking at the different in-art releases. And if the third tier ends up looking better than a first tier, like, what does that say about what they think of their own first tier? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, and one of the questions that I have written, so Margo and I are kind of working on beginning some questions, but one of the questions that I have is, one, why are these tiers not presented to us as collectors beforehand? It seems like we're finding out the tier on the box when it's released. As a collector, I don't like that. I want to know, is this your best foot forward or is it not? And two, why are there even tiers? InArt came out of the gate wanting to make the most accurate, the best figures possible, yet they're telling me the Gandalf is 3 of 4 in terms of their quality. It's like, well, there are things that are missing and inaccurate. Would those have been better if it was a silver tier or the rhodium tier? I really don't understand it, because the price points at $530 for Gandalf, or I think it was $1,100, $1,200 for Joker, seem pretty comparable. You know, it's not like a DX versus a regular Hot Toys. So we have some pretty interesting questions that we're working on. They're very wordy. I need to kind of trim them down. But Dean and Ben, if you guys have anything that you guys want to kind of pitch in, you know, we're always looking for more questions. And we want to open up to the listeners as well. If you have questions, you know, we can't ask them all, of course, but we can certainly vet some of those listener questions. So be sure to email me, zack@collectingweekly.com, or just comment it on the after show, and we'll answer them. There's one really good question from 2 weeks ago about what they learned from the figures that they've released that they're bringing forward to new figures. So 12-inch says he's got to dip out one more day of early work before OxCon. Hell yeah, baby.
See you soon, buddy.
Yeah, can't wait to meet you. And I just want to say, I'm hoping that InArt, as they move forward, tightens up their messaging. You know, that we've been on them since day one. Looks like they're two out of 3, if not 3 out of 3 with their releases so far. So it looks like they're still putting out good figures, but the messaging is so muddled. It's kind of this shotgun approach where there's lots of, you know, collecting from one way. There's lots of them giving us information, but not a lot of substance. It's hard to parse out. So I just hope that they tighten things up. And when I see a drop from InArt, I want it to feel special. Like, okay, they're telling me something new, and not like, what am I looking at? It looks good, but what am I really looking for here?
100%.
Totally. If anything, I'm just excited to see that we're starting to see the releases. Even the Pennywise, I feel like, came pretty quickly, or is on the way for a lot of collectors.
What did he say?
Obviously, we've had some
I'm
collector
so sorry.
editions.
That might be my favorite clip of all time at this moment.
Big Bretta says here, InArt Superman goes to PO next week. You heard it here first, allegedly. We will say at this point, but that would be sweet. I don't know. I like to see that they're amping up their release schedule a little bit. Hopefully, we get a chance to see a little bit more of a preview of what we're gonna get from them kind of going forward. And then I gotta say, I'm very, very excited about that Batman. So I'm really, really hoping we see a release date here on that soon.
You went sculpted and not rooted on that one, yeah?
I did. Yeah, I sculpted.
Yeah.
So, and I still think it's a good sculpt, but I think I'll have the cowl on like 90% of the time, honestly.
Probably.
So.
I want to say they said before Christmas, right? For Batman, I think that's what they said, allegedly.
But it's still this batch system, so who knows? You know, Bretta gets it Christmas, I get it 6 months later. We just don't know yet.
It's because Bretta's VIP. And do you have anything
That's
to
true,
say about
he
these?
I have almost nothing positive to ever say about Inart, so I'm just gonna not.
Wow.
Appreciate that.
You'll feel differently when you see my Batman, Dean.
Staying with Lord of the Rings, Asmus Gandalf. Now, I didn't quite understand what these photos were. They posted them today on their Facebook page. I thought they were just showing what, like, oh, here's what your figure could look like. They're actually re-releasing the Crown series as a 2.0, and in the box you'll find the upgrade head, I assume pre-installed, and then the hat, the upgrade hat. So this is $350, and again, it includes the upgrade head and hat. It does not, as far as I know, contain also the first V1 portrait. But you know, if you don't have a Gandalf and you're thinking, damn, $530 for the in art is a lot, perhaps I could spend $350, which I still think is a lot. I would just, you know, probably spend the extra. But this is out there, right? There's different levels of quality for different kinds of collectors, and I certainly appreciate that. And like I said, getting a used Hobbit Gandalf for dirt cheap and buying the upgrade head is a fantastic way to get a good looking Gandalf on the shelf if you don't need the top tier quality. I did reach out to Asmus to see if they would potentially send us one of these to review. I have not heard back from them. I don't think they've read my message yet because of the time zone thing, but we'll see if they do that. And if they don't, then it is what it is. But you got to shoot your shot. Anyone? We can move on. I know we're talking about Gandalf today.
Yeah, I think exactly what you said. If the in-art one is a little, not only pricey, but risky, right? Because some people with the Joker order different places, and then those places vanished, and so did their money. So a lot of people are,
yeah, you're correct.
A lot of weary on ordering in-art figures. This is a much safer way of getting a super high quality Gandalf, and you're still saving money.
Yeah,
I think they could go back and watch your the unboxing we did yesterday with it was yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
To see those two head sculpts next to each other in hand,
night and day.
It's crazy how much better it is.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you want a really, really solid Gandalf and don't want to break the bank, this is it.
Zach, when you were showing the head sculpt on your figure earlier for your new this week, I noticed that the hands looked like a significantly different color than the head sculpt. Is that the case, like in hand, or was that maybe just like lighting? Because I noticed this looks like the head sculpt matches the hands a lot better, at least in this photo versus the one that you had shared.
So I would say probably a bit of both. I guess you'll see it in person this week, but I've never been 100% satisfied with the hand color. I felt like with the Gandalf the white, they did a lot of like they just look better. I think this may have the same, unless they redid the hands, which they haven't said that they did. And this portrait, I criticized a lot of in art. This portrait is not perfect either. I think the beard is far too short. I've not yet tried to comb mine out to get it a little bit longer, but I thought the length of the beard of the first portrait was much better. So this is not a perfect portrait. I don't want to, you know, besmirch one and not be equally besmirching of the other. But yeah, this is, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, Ben, you'll be able to tell me better in person. But I certainly think that the new hands with the Gandalf the white are much better.
Cool. Yeah, I just thought maybe that was another portion of the 2.0.
Yeah.
Like another.
If anything, if I can be completely honest, I think the hands that came with the Hobbit Gandalf are better than the Crown hands. They were painted much better. That and then the little sweater that he wears under there. I like the Hobbit ones better, to be honest.
And this one comes with the pants print?
It does.
Oh,
I don't.
see it.
Ben,
you love to see it.
Got me started. We'll be here for an hour.
Oh my god. Sorry.
Batman, the animated series, Mask of the Phantasm is celebrating. What is it? Its 30th anniversary, 40th anniversary.
That's insane. Can't be
Re-releasing
40th because I saw it. So
re-releasing as a 4K Blu-ray, and Mondo Toys is doing a timed edition. I know the guys were a bit upset, but I asked, for us not to discuss spoilers. I guess if you guys feel like you need to, we can. But
this is actually Anakin Skywalker.
It's $210, and I didn't see a release date on the images. I assume that means that I also use the same image twice. That's yucky. But I assume that means that it's coming fairly soon. I read the description. I couldn't see it, but the exclusive edition has a separate torso for the alternate look of the character, of the secret identity. But yeah, this figure looks fucking awesome. I was kind of surprised that Ben's not getting it.
I know. Me too.
When Ben said that, I was like genuinely like, wow.
Bro,
I know.
I'm not even like that big a fan, and I kind of want to get this.
It's so cool.
Well, I heard that Ben said Dean, you want to know what I said when Ben said he wasn't going to get it?
We already know.
What'd you say?
I was like,
what did he say?
Ben, you're gonna get stoned one day and definitely order this. I already know what's happening.
You're not wrong, because I'm on Mondo Shop right now looking at it. I'm like, yeah,
right.
Ben, since you're on the shop, I didn't put this down, but when does this end? This edition.
So let's just see here.
And the alternate look only comes with that edition. Is that what you were saying?
Correct.
Oh
yeah.
shit. Okay.
While he looks that up, I will say, I know you guys tune in to hear figure news and let's talk about figures. But since we can't talk about it, apparently just Google it. I don't know why you're listening.
Google it.
Google the figure.
The sale ends on September 19th.
I can't talk about this, how cool it is. So.
If it would make you so happy, Dean, you can talk about it.
No, you said the rules.
I've suggested, since a lot of people are seeing this for the first time, we shouldn't spoil it. But if you feel the need to spoil, by all means.
No, my microphone broke. I'm on mute.
So the timed edition that comes with the alternative torso is available for sale, pre-sale from September 19th to September 25th at 11:59 a.m.
Wow, that's a quick turnaround.
Now it doesn't look like that timeline is for the standard release though, just for the timed pre-order window. So
correct.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. It's a very, very cool looking figure. There's one picture here where it's displayed with the guy's torso, and it's like 6 scale, obviously, but it's like his whole torso. Looks really, really badass. But I have the Batman coming. I've got the Joker coming, with the exception of all of the other figures that this line could absolutely release, and I hope they do. I already have all the 7-inch figures. I don't know if I need the 6 scale. I know that's crazy, because Batman the Animated Series is like a defining show for me in my life, and I absolutely love it. And I love this film. I love the film a lot. So if you guys haven't seen the movie, watch the movie so we can talk in spoilers about this in future. I also will probably do
it was only movie of the week like 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, true, not that long ago.
Okay, it was a while ago, but you also have to realize not everyone watches the movie of the week, and also the movie wasn't widely available.
We talked spoilers during movie of the week.
Yeah, but we gain new listeners all the time. We don't have the same people have watched from episode 1.
It's true. I resubscribed yesterday, actually.
You fucking...
Okay, if you're out there... Wait, hold on. If you're out there listening to this or in the chat, wherever you're at, send Zach a message and say thank you for not spoiling it because I have not seen this movie yet. And if he gets
he's gonna
any
get
messages...
He's gonna get so many messages, and then he's gonna be so happy about it.
Don't send fake messages either.
Send a fake message.
I'll know if
Send
they're
a fake message.
I'll know.
Send a message.
Mondo's really putting us in a box here, because let's say you haven't seen it yet and you want that special edition, but you don't want the identity spoiled.
But if
you've got to then go.
Why would you want this?
Well, if you think that you may want the special edition, so now you've got to go watch it before the 25th.
Bro, I'm not even a fan, and seeing this figure makes me want this figure.
This is a dope
figure. So Marco's not wrong. If you've
I
never
just have to
seen
say
this,
one thing to Dean.
Don't give up on me now, Dean.
I was 99% sure it was going to be, what did he say? So certain.
Oh, man.
I want to hear Zach read this title.
Okay, here we go. Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
Yes. What variant are we referring to?
All of it.
Oh, okay. Lieutenant J.G. Wentworth. Just kidding. J.G. Savick 1/6 scale museum grade action figure Kobayashi Maru version.
Oh, that was pretty good. I will give
You
that.
fucking
Give
tried
that
to come
to
at me
you.
with.
I thought you were gonna
fucking-
totally beef
You tried to
that.
fucking come at me with some Kobayashi, bro. Kobayashi, bro.
Kobayashi
hungry.
Maru. Love to see it.
Jeez, bro. Who you think I am?
I
Cheers.
love the poorly educated.
Wow, that's an old clip. Okay, that clip.
Our show was almost canceled over that clip.
That was the first clip. People were like, "Can you please stop fucking playing?"
Here we
that
go.
clip?"
Amba saying, "I have never seen the movie, so thanks." Play the clip, Dean.
Amba, no, that sounds
Play the
made up.
fucking clip,
That
Dean.
sounds
Play
made
the.
up.
He could be
Amba
from Africa
saying-
for all you know.
I don't. Hey, don't just start
He
assuming.
could be from
shit
anywhere.
like that.
You're assuming because his name isn't.
I didn't say that.
The way you said, he said it seems like a fake name. That could be a real.
I didn't
person.
say
He's
that.
not
I
a
said
name.
that seems like a fake comment.
No.
How dare you?
Okay, so let me tell you this. Back in the day, now it's hard to believe because we got like the XLR and the fancy camera, and Ben's got lights, and Marco's got pancake. It's hard to believe, but way back, we're what, episode 286? I'm talking episode like, what is it? 5 to probably like 45.
Yeah.
We used to hang out every Tuesday in my kitchen on my dinner table and record. And fuck you, Safel. We had one microphone. Again, it's very hard to believe. We had one microphone, and we would all sit around the microphone, and the production quality was very low. We had a lot of heart. Okay. And at one point, Manny, one of the founding fathers of CW, had found like a soundboard app on his phone. Like you press a button and it plays a sound. Essentially what we do here. And again, we're all sharing one mic. There's no way to like mute anybody. There's no way to like change. Like, sometimes if Dean's a little hot, he's always hot, but I can bring in his microphone. I can bring it down or bring it up remotely with the software that we use. And he would lean across the table and put his phone speaker right on top of the microphone and blast that clip. And it was the first episode that we had the sound thing. And I swear he may have played that clip about 25 times. And I was like, we have 3 people to watch this show. Like, no one. We had so many emails. Like, please, God, don't ever do that again, or we will stop listening. And it almost derailed the whole empire. That was a really long story, but I don't think you guys look like you're bored out of your mind.
I loved the background.
Funny. Yeah, dude, it was.
You
so
lost me
funny.
at before Marco and I, because I feel like we're really the glue. Maybe one would say
Really
the nut that keeps
holds
it together.
Good thing Eddie's not here.
That's thick, sticky nut.
Hey, happy birthday, Eddie! By the way.
Yes.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, Eddie.
birthday,
We miss
Eddie.
him. He's not here right now, but we're gonna see him this weekend. So
I don't know what Pokemon 151 is, but I'd love to hear more about it, Cram, because it sounds right up my alley. But Ben, I cede to your better judgment. Is this a good figure, a bad figure? Is this accurate? I don't know.
It's the gal from Cheers, right?
It is, yeah, Christy Alley, and rest in peace to the actress. She passed away not too long ago, unfortunately.
Did she really?
Yeah.
What?
In 2022, so it was about a year ago already. But so I got some thoughts on this guy or on this gal because in terms of a figure release, I actually think this is one of the stronger likenesses Exo6 has given us so far. It's interesting that this is the first Wrath of Khan release that we're getting, especially since we've now been teased Kirk and Spock and Bones a couple of times over the last 2 years. Everybody seems to be waiting for the Wrath of Khan line to come out. And we got Savick first, which isn't bad. It gives me some confidence that line is going to be pretty strong because I haven't been very happy with the Voyager line. I know a lot of people know that. I tease them quite a bit for that line. This one seems pretty strong to start. I think it does look like Christy Alley or Savick, the character herself. Now, there's 2 different SKUs for this, though. So the one on the left is the Kobayashi Maru version, which is kind of featured from one of the first scenes in the film where she's training the Kobayashi Maru test with Spock, which is essentially a test for cadets looking or lieutenants looking to become captains who are faced with a no-win scenario. And that's kind of what the whole movie of The Wrath of Khan is about, of kind of realizing that there is no winning in the situation that they're in with Khan, and somebody will die, somebody will ultimately fail. So it's a cool kind of foreshadowing of what the future movie events will be. She's not in this outfit for a ton of time before she ends up donning the jacket that you see on the right hand side when they beam down to the space station Regula 1. So with the Regula 1 version, the cost difference is insane. So for the Kobayashi Maru version, it's $200 plus $20 ship from X06. The end date for that pre-order comes up on October 8th, and it will be released likely in Q2 2024 is what they're saying. But it basically, in the description of what it comes with, it's kind of details what's on the outfit and the hands. That's pretty much it for $200. The Regula 1 version, which comes with the jacket, comes with a phaser, comes with a different tricorder, comes with a whole bunch of other stuff, all that stuff anyways, in comparison to the first version, is $270 plus $20 shipping. So we're getting close to like that $300 mark now for this particular release of the figure.
For a jacket?
For a jacket and a phaser, and as I said, the other version comes so stripped down, it barely comes with anything. So it's like, man, they really amped the price up for this bad boy for the secondary version or the Regula 1 version. I think it is cool that you can swap the look. I think that that's really nice. I know some folks out there, in fact, Sean Forrester messaged me earlier to say he feels like the value is there. He feels like the dollar amount is appropriate. I still think as strong as the sculpt is, it's not quite Hot Toys quality yet. And the tailoring, while being very awesome, I still don't think is justified in the price point. So I'm going to pass on this one. She's also not even my favorite Savick. There's another actress that plays Savick in the movie Search for Spock, which is the one that comes after The Wrath of Khan. And I actually like that actress more for the role, and she was more fun to watch. She had more going on. There was a lot more there, substance to the character. So, so Han says, "Oh, what the heck? I didn't know that I popped up at the wrong time." You hate to see it. So, but yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think of Savick here?
I mean, I'm not a huge Star Trek guy. I've seen these movies. It's been decades. Probably literally, I'm like, 32? So probably literally 2 decades since I've seen these, because growing up, my dad loved Star Trek. I don't know if a jacket and a couple accessories is worth that extra $70, because just looking at the base figure of her in her officer's uniform, that looks fucking clean. I would proudly have that on the shelf. I don't know if I want to cover up how good that suit looks with the jacket. But again, I'm not the biggest Trekkie, so I don't know how important the jacket is to the movie or the character. You said she doesn't look like this for very long, but it's like...
Yeah, because she beams over to Regula 1, and then she's wearing the jacket for quite a bit of the movie.
Yeah. But, I mean, this is a good-looking figure. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's quite... I mean, I definitely see Kirstie Alley in there, but I don't know if it's super strong.
The fact that you knew she was pretty good, though.
Yeah. That's true.
She has such a definitive face, though.
She was such a babe, too. And she's a Klingon? Yeah, she was.
No, she's a Vulcan.
A Vulcan. Oh, yeah. I just wanted her to Klingon my dude.
Wow.
Sorry.
Respectfully.
I think of that joke.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, respectfully.
Respectfully.
Wow, rip.
She was a babe, dude. Back in the day, no one touched Kirstie Alley.
I agree.
I just think that price point getting up in the 270 plus range now is getting a little ridiculous. I don't know. I just don't think the figures are quite there yet.
What was the most expensive one before this?
It would have been the rooted hair Krug that we saw recently, and I think that was at $320 if I'm not mistaken. But again, had technically rooted hair, so
like properly a little bit more justified. Or just...
It looked well rooted, I would say, considering I know some people said it looked like Barbie hair, but I didn't get that. I thought it looked like Christopher Lloyd in the makeup, and the Klingon outfit that he came with is super badass. So like that, but again, $320 is
if it's
really
actually properly rooted, that's not bad. But if it's just like I don't even know what we call that,
like punched in
like,
or whatever.
Like the original like Black Widow figures or Wonder Woman.
Yeah, it's just a big wig that they put on it.
It's probably more like that. I don't know 100%, but
yeah. If it's properly rooted, $320, that's not bad. Some people charge that just to root a figure.
Just for rooted head sculpt.
So that's not terrible, but 320, that's a tough nut to swallow. 270, real tough. I mean, Exo 6, you know, I know they've put out some good stuff. I wouldn't even say great. I don't think they've put out anything great. Just in terms of,
I think the Krug is
all
probably
the
the
stuff
best
that
so
we've
far.
dealt with them, and hearing people's back and forth. It seems like people are like less happy than happy. But like you said before, Star Trek fans are so starved of stuff. It's like, fuck it, I'll take it.
Yeah. It does make me wonder if we're going to see 2 SKUs for both Kirk, Bones, and Spock as well, because they also had the regular bridge outfit and then the regular one jackets. So then it's like, if you want both versions of each character, that's like 6 figures in your collection just for 2 different looks. Like that's insane.
That's
so
I think the $200 one is fine. I think that is a good figure. $270 though, I don't know. But again, I'm not a Trek geek.
We're known here, Dean, for fan service. So Tim Harvey, I think he asked about this last week too, and I felt bad that we couldn't get to that comment. We do read all the comments that go by. We just, if we just read every comment,
we'd be sitting here.
We'd be Marco's show.
That's part of the fun. Come on over. We won't ignore your comment.
I
Bro,
love
Marco, are you a dog pound? Because you're out here catching strays.
I know. That's what I get. I've been on Zach's ass all fucking week.
Okay,
That's exactly
to be
what
fair,
I get.
I was thinking like I could pick some random person, but I don't want to start a fucking war. So I was like, I'm gonna play it safe and pick Ben or Marco.
Oh man.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That was good. I should get a point for that.
It was really good. You give yourself a point. Give yourself a point.
380 Q4 2023. I guess I haven't said it yet. It's the Nosferatu 100th anniversary Count Orlok. This is the deluxe figure. Looks like there's also the regular at 325. We'll find out what the difference is right off the bat. I think Tim said the hands were some of the best he's seen. I would agree. I think that looks really good. I would hope that they're a little bit of a softer material. I don't want those nails to break. It comes with the keys, comes with the base. Kind of looks like me before I had my coffee in the morning, but this this looks pretty good. It's got the hat there. And I'll be completely honest. I am not very familiar with Nosferatu. So forgive me for the ignorance, but they're those where the forearms pop out. That's cool. You got some rats there. Now what's the difference here? Looks like maybe the base, perhaps. Let's see here. No? What is the difference? Tim, comment what the difference is.
The head, maybe?
No, because you got that other head there.
Oh.
What is the difference?
324.
Jacket?
$50
struggling.
difference. Oh, here we go.
It comes with
the okay, now that's a pretty cool accessory for $50. I want to say
Yeah, didn't we see that with Dracula?
The Bela Lugosi Dracula, which I need that figure so bad. I'm so fucking pissed.
Also,
my Target had like 100 of them, and I kept saying, "Oh, I'll buy it next week. I'll buy it next week." And then when I finally came to buy it, it was sold out. It fucking pissed me off.
That's the way it goes, man. Always.
There we go. One comes with the coffin, and the third version comes with a coffin. There's a third version. I didn't see that one, but we get the real good look at these hands. They look fucking sick.
Those are wild.
Yeah, forearm.
I like the forearm a lot.
Exchange. Yeah.
I like that.
Well,
I like that. Again, though, I would have some concerns on the durability, but I'm sure that they've thought of it all.
We've seen
magnetic
a lot.
stand too. Hopefully they learned from Inart though. They didn't put the fucking magnets in two
They've been
spots.
doing magnetic stands way before Inart.
They did because they did it with the
They did John
Jimmy
Wayne.
Dean.
They did,
yes, you're correct, Dean. I get you a point there.
Dracula as well.
You are correct.
Now we've seen Caustic Plastic in the past. Like we just named 3 figures right now that we talked about. I don't know if we come across them often enough to say whether or not people are happy with the final product, but I
think
honestly
they are.
can't remember ever really hearing any negative, like, oh, this John Wayne fucking sucks, it's falling over.
No,
the
I don't think
hands
so.
don't fit. So if, $379, that's a lot. But I mean, from what I understand, the Caustic Plastic line is pretty solid. I don't know if anybody in the chat has any
is that Gavin Newsom
experience with them.
Jesus Christ, that's a fucking point. That's hilarious. Oh, that's good, Marco. Gavin Newsom. No, it's Christopher Lee from Dracula, Count Dracula, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm here for it. They are very expensive, and I think it's perhaps a bit niche.
I think that's the only reason I didn't get the John Wayne is how expensive it was.
Mm-hmm. That one was really pricey because I think he had like the campfire diorama. I must say it was almost $400.
Yeah, it was up there because I love John Wayne. He's in one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, well, Tim, hopefully you enjoyed that. Yeah, a lot of
send us some pictures. We'll pull them up on the show maybe.
Yeah.
A lot of. I know we always complain that the companies always do the same things, but that's also our own fault because we only really talk about the same things. So that's a nice little break from the norm, Tim. Thank you. Iconic Studios, their first look at our new Challenger is going to be on display at TAGCC next weekend. Akuma will be alongside a number of our other figures. We all know that you've been patiently waiting to see Akuma, and we can't wait to show him to you very soon. Pre-orders open in October. I do hope that they learned their lesson that when this window, if they do an arbitrarily described window, that when it closes, I think, to line up with their previous statement, I think that would be nice. This is the Toys Anime Games Comic-Con hosted by Toy Marks. You can see this figure on display September 23rd to the 24th. I kind of struggle with these kind of photos because I'm very sure that this is implied that it does not light up, but the pictures are obviously showing it lit up. I don't like that, especially if there's no light up component, contained within the figure. But I understand this is a teaser. This, they're trying to build up the hype and show you a little bit without showing you everything. So the face is obviously, not clearly visible in these photos.
Right.
But if this is anything as good as the the Ryu, the Ken that's coming out, and then their other figures, this is going to be a slam dunk. So
man, they're getting a lot of. Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good.
I'm just saying they're getting a lot of mileage out of this body, huh? I know that's economically the most feasible, but it's a little disappointing that they haven't peppered in like a Chun-Li or another figure that's not just the big bulky fighter.
They did,
okay,
right?
I'm glad you said that.
Chun-Li teaser, right?
Marco, yeah,
teaser.
I'm glad you said that.
They are going to make one though.
We know that.
Yeah,
but
because
but you're right, Zach.
I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, it's just the body, but Akuma is fucking huge. He's like maybe a head and a half bigger than Ryu.
Really?
So if this is the same body, that's going to be really disappointing.
It sure looks like the same figure, but just different.
But hopefully when we actually see it, it's not. You can't tell from here. It's not next to anything. But Akuma's supposed to be very imposing and jacked as shit. So I thought the exact same thing as Marco, and I'm like,
he's pretty huge.
He's gigantic.
Jesus.
And then even
I don't remember this from the game at all.
He's definitely not that big from the statue.
But even here, I mean, you could tell he's like a full,
he's at
scale about
least
an inch and a
head
half.
taller.
Yeah.
And I wonder if they get away with that by making his hair just massive or something kind of lame like that.
I hope that they don't do that.
Yeah.
I hope
No.
they don't.
If you look at the official art, Ryu's head, like where his hair is, ends where like Akuma's chin begins.
Okay.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Crazy.
Yeah, Cholo says all in on Iconic Studios. They're killing it with this line, praying they eventually tackle Mortal Kombat.
Same.
And I guess you could say the same thing about Mortal Kombat, right? Like the 3-0 Mortal Kombat figures, like they're all the same base body with like subtle adjustments. Like
I'm annoyed by that as well.
It's just the name of the game. Right?
I get
like
economies of scale.
When they were making Nintendo back in the day, it's just easier for them to recolor a model than just to design all new characters. So
and Zach,
I totally get that.
I almost disagree with you to a point with regards to how you were saying that like the effects are lit, because I actually think this is the way it would look almost in a display like mine, like with the colored lighting when it's like we're shining on the figure, as opposed to what they do with other figure releases where they actually light Photoshop light in. I don't like when they do that. I think this is actually kind of a classy way to do that. So
give you a point for
cool
that.
Looking character. Otherwise.
I would say though, as a counterpoint, I think that's an excellent point. I would say the probably 90% 90% of collectors probably don't have colored lights, but that is a great point that you could replicate this in your cabinet, with just
With some
an
strategic
LED strip.
lighting. Yeah.
And it probably would look really good, with the Ryu effects or, forgive me, I'm not a huge Street Fighter fan, but I assume Ken has effects as well. Yeah, this, you could easily 'cause I think Ben, in your collection, you can change certain, so you could have a display like Ben's where you can kind of tweak different settings and stuff. So let me get you your point there. Let's move on because I think we're running a bit behind. We have the Game Toys Noctis. Dean, tell me about this.
Yeah, so this is Noctis, Prince Noctis from Final Fantasy 15. They've been teasing it for a while. Usually it's like pictures like on someone's desk or something, but this is actual they went to a studio with backlighting and a backdrop and took photos. So this is okay, when's this coming out? This is a for sure thing now. So it's just a tease for now, but if you like game toys and you like Final Fantasy 15, this is a must. I like Noctis. I don't know if I like him enough, but if I could snag it at retail, I'll probably pick it up. But the aftermarket game toys price is fucking crazy. So if like I said, if this is a character you want, I would pre-order it as soon as it comes out. So should be any day now that we're seeing these.
Very good. Let's see here. Sculpts. Ben, this was your topic. Tell us what we're talking about right now.
Yeah, so I mean, I thought of this today because I saw so many of the comments with regards to the Green Goblin figure that came out today. Is the sculpt good? Is it bad? How do we judge if a sculpt is bad or good? Where's the test? Where's the line? When is it being a little overboard in terms of comparing? When is it appropriate to compare? There's a lot of questions that I have. So for you guys, my question really came to you, and for the chat as well. When you're trying to decide if you think a figure's sculpt is good or bad, how do you specifically choose? Do you follow what the community thinks? Do you compare side-by-side photos? What's your process for determining a good sculpt?
I like this topic. I think for me, because we do this every week, right? So regardless if I'm interested in a figure, I have to have some take on every figure every week, right? I think the K1 Master on Instagram, his side-by-sides are very helpful for me. Again, because we're digesting a ton of information like we all are. Those are super helpful for me. I also think that, just taking on my own, iconic moments that, Portrait may be trying to replicate. Most of them are pretty stoic, so, it's not that hard to find. Comparing photos of the actor at that time, also helpful. It's tough because there's so much noise out there, and when I first started collecting, I felt like I was perhaps a bit more influenced by it. I don't really care about it anymore. I just at this point I have my own opinions. I've said this before, but I'm the one that has to pay and look at it at the end of the day. So a lot of people had roasted some of the Gandalf that I used to have or still have, and I enjoyed them for years, right? And so I think I think you really have to look at something on your own and try to block out some of that noise, because I do think that there are times where people are very excited for things and they hear, and it works both ways, right? They might not be excited, they hear people talk about it, they get excited, or vice versa. They are excited to hear people hating on it. And it's a shame that that so much of that does influence the collector, and that's kind of why I always say, for me personally, I'll give some best practices, I'll give my advice, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do or not gonna do, but I never try to push any sort of anything on people. Every once in a while we'll kind of joking boycott a company, but I really like for people to make their own decisions based on all the different things that they have going on, right? So Yeah, I don't have, when I first started collecting, I used to use this website called Star by Face, but that's pretty inaccurate. We were kind of having some fun earlier with that in our show sheet chat, but with the way that cameras work and lighting works, and I've seen this on myself. We're doing these unboxings, and I have this light. I'm trying to get it. It's hard to dial it in, and I know these bloggers are very professional photographers, but I think sometimes that they can make a figure look better than it actually is, and also worse. So my best advice is, you have to look at it, you have to pay for it. If you like it, don't worry about what other people say. And it might not get all the likes when you post it on the groups, but I don't think we should really care about that.
Toy Mafia says here, yo Ben, and just see if it looks good. That's pretty much what Dean said to me today when I posed this subject in our group chat.
He's like, come on, it's not that complicated.
Yeah, he was like, how do you know if a sculpt is good? I was like, look at it. I don't know what you're asking here. I'm pretty much gonna go right along with Zach here. It's your money. If you like it, fuck it, buy it. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that cringe at half the shit I buy. Robotech, Hatsune Miku, like whatever the fuck it is. But it's my collection. I want it there. In fact, I just got into this line called Little Armory. It's a Figma line, and it's little anime schoolgirls with like fucking military grade weapons and like pouches and guns everywhere. It's fucking hilarious and cool. I'm sure there's a lot of people that's like, that's fucking stupid, a waste of money, but I like it. And yeah, it's like, if you think, perfect example, the Jon Snow season 8, 3-0. In a lot of photos, it looks like dog shit. And I bought it on a whim. I got it really cheap. I was like, well, I have another head sculpt I'm going to use anyway. And I get it in hand, and like, it's really not that bad. It's pretty good. My camera's not gonna it's gonna wash it out.
Oh yeah,
damn, bro, but busted.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. Like it really is. Like once you have something in hand, you can really tell.
It's so hard sometimes.
It's
to translate.
Really super hard because I'll have something cool on my desk. I'm gonna take a picture, and I take 18 photos on my phone, and I'm like, these all look like shit. Why isn't my camera seeing what I'm seeing here? So yeah, it's like if you think it looks cool, that's how you decide.
Dean just takes his glasses off if he's not sure.
How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah, so data points that I kind of used to lean on before, and now I kind of throw them out based on what the release pipeline looks like. The blogger photos are good early indications of what a figure may look like, right? Because sometimes there's a lot of them. But I find that a lot of those are shot to look like a still from the film. And in those lighting conditions, it doesn't always make the sculpts come across how it's going to look on your shelf, right? So 100%. It could just, it's trying to replicate something that's very much cinematic, and that's not what it's going to look like in my DTOF. And so I kind of have to take that with a grain of salt. So I'll look at that initially and be like, okay, yeah, maybe this is really good, or maybe it's not as strong as the prototype was. Maybe it's degraded a little bit, but I got to see more data. So then I will see, I think MRC Collection, and I forget, there's another one on Instagram. They get the figures really quickly, and they normally post some pretty high quality shots of them. And so I'm less concerned with what the person is telling me about, like this sculpt is strong or not, and just more what I'm seeing. So once I have that many data points, you throw in Justin's collection, maybe Jetta gets the figure, maybe other people that we know in the community are getting the figure and posting high resolution shots of it. And at that point, I feel like I've got enough information to, if I was borderline, whether I'm going to purchase it or not, or if I already had it on pre-order, whether that's a deal breaker for me. The one that's come closest to being a deal breaker, I think, was the Doc Ock. I think that one is pretty spotty. Regardless of how you cut it, it's not super strong. But I've seen enough angles and enough cool poses where I'm like, actually, that figure is going to look pretty sweet on the shelf. You put the glasses on. I think I see the resemblance enough that it's not a complete deal breaker, but I'm very meticulous. So Ben, this question, I appreciate you for it because I do take in a lot of data, probably a lot more than more folks would even care. If Eddie was on the show, he'd be like, "You're taking this too seriously. It's just a toy. Either get it or don't." But I kind of take these purchases pretty seriously, and I kind of think that's part of the fun, is I like to analyze this stuff. I'm kind of sick in that way, but I get that. That's not for everyone. Some people just want to get it and say it's fine enough. Yes, this figure doesn't have the last correct text of the book, but it's just a figure, and at the end of the day, that's going to be all right. Some people are like, it needs to be this, or it's a deal breaker. We all have our different pain points, and it's really up to you to decide.
Absolutely. For me, I try to collect based more on the character than what the figure specifically looks like, at least initially when I'm planning the collection, because I've already recognized after, YouTubing about collecting for a year and a half and collecting itself for 10 years that I'll never have enough space to have everything that I think is cool and everything that I think is attractive when it's released. So I have to be really strategic about the characters that I buy and how many of those characters, how many Batmans should I have and what Batmans would I have? If I were going to have a Gandalf, what Gandalf would I want? Because I would only ever buy one. But I wouldn't buy it because Gandalf's not my guy. The example for me, when I think back to Peacemaker, when we were talking earlier, I wanted the character because I loved the show. And then when that first head sculpt came out, even though it was only half a sculpt with a mask on, I didn't think it looked like John Cena, so I chose to pass. It wasn't until they updated it that I chose to actually make the choice to buy. I think for me, I like to see what's come before. So, seeing Gandalf's in Zach's collection is cool because you get to see so many evolutions of that character being made that now some of these new ones, like the one InArt has done, looks so freaking good that even if you compare that sculpt to a photo of Gandalf, I still think you're going to absolutely feel like that InArt one is now kind of the definitive face for Gandalf in the 6-scale world. Could be wrong. Zach may feel differently. I try to not compare it to movie stills, though. I think that is never a great representation of how accurate a sculpt is, because a human face changes so often that any face still in a movie shot is never going to look exactly the same as a head sculpt. It doesn't matter how well you swing it. I think the question came from, for me today, the sculpts that are almost so good, but they're also kind of bad. Are they good or are they bad? It's so close, but not quite. And if it's not quite, is it actually more of your love for the character or your actual true feeling about the sculpt that's getting in the way of the purchasing decision? Are you giving yourself a reason to not buy it because it's still cool objectively, but you don't necessarily need it because it's not one of your favorite characters? It poses a lot of questions for myself. I think for me, seeing with a movie still is never a fair representation. So that's the one aspect of the community that I try to not latch onto. And then ultimately, I think if I think I really like it, if I look at the solicitation for the Sam Jackson, the Mace Windu, I remember when I first saw that sculpt pop up on the feed, I was like, oh shit, look at that, it's Mace Windu, that's awesome, people are going to be so excited. And then I went to the groups and everybody was hating on that figure so bad that I was like, I must be missing something. Why does this not look good? And it's the negativity of that kind of drives me nuts. So I've tried to stay away from Facebook groups and stuff like that. If I think a figure looks good, then that's my opinion, and I'll buy it if I want it. I did that with the Chadwick Boseman. I can't wait for that figure to come in. I don't have a Max Nut to compare it to, so away she goes. So
you don't have the Max Nut. Wow.
I don't have a
Max
Nut.
First time for everything. But right. I think you're totally right, Ben, in that character sometimes trumps any flaws with a figure, and that may sound like a cop-out to some folks, but I know we had a big debate over that Supergirl. That was one where I said, I think that they're going to update it. If they don't, I think it's a cool enough character, a cool enough figure that even if the sculpt is like this, I could still see some redeeming qualities, but I would like it to be better. So I think that can elevate. For me is that
Doc Brown has literally holes beside his head because he's not the right it's not the right sculpt for the character. It's supposed to come with sunglasses.
You know what you got to do?
Still really cool. I'm happy I got a Doc Brown in the collection.
You got to get a little bit of putty for one side, and then you got to get a little 1/6J in the other side, and just tuck it behind his ear.
Yes,
that's what you got to do.
100%. I love that idea. That's awesome. But yeah, no, great responses, guys. But yeah, I'd love to hear from the community as well. How do you guys truly decide what's a good head sculpt without just looking at it, Toy Mafia? I'm sure there's more to your process. And if there's not, good on you for being so easily able to jump into something you like. So. Oh, you're muted.
Wow, Zach
I
is
was like,
just
what's
going
with the
and going.
silence right now?
Yeah.
Sean says, when I see a picture, I need to see that person immediately for it to be a good sculpt. Tim agrees, and he says he'll compare side-by-side photos. God, we're running long. OxCon is this weekend. Ben is flying in. Marco's flying in. I had this thing where I was like, I have a lot of gifts for a lot of people, and so for the Patreonies, and I want to give a small part of my collection to the Patreonies coming down, and so I think it is possible, but I'm excited. I'm so excited. It's been a rough year, and so it'll be nice to see all our friends from last year meet. Obviously we haven't seen Ben yet, but meet people in person, do a bunch of different things. I'm so excited. Like I felt like last year was could not have gone better. This year we're adding a lot more people, presents some new challenges, some challenges that we had last year that we overcame. So really excited to.
You talking about that big bump on Danny's forehead?
Bro, Danny got conked on the noggin by some damn lady at the airport. Practically got assaulted. But yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
You know what? I am nervous. I'm nervous. I'm definitely an introverted extrovert, one would say. I definitely have a social battery, and once that battery is run dry, I'm like, I can't speak to anybody for like 3 days. So I just know that like I'm so excited to see you guys. I'm so excited to hug you guys. I'm so excited to meet lots of the community members. I'm gonna literally have to go into isolation when I get back on Monday with some weed and some video games and just recoup. But no, in all honesty, I'm very excited for the event. I hope that it becomes something that is successful year over year. So we can continue to grow the community and look forward to more. I know you guys were jokingly floating out there, like maybe a hotel or something next year that we rent. It's like, yeah, you know what? If the event gets big enough, you never know what could happen. So pretty cool.
Yeah, 100%.
We weren't joking, Ben.
Oh, well, shit. Okay.
Wow.
I'm going to bring all my Canadian friends and the poutine.
Whoa. All right.
Leave that at the door.
Why don't you bring some poutine, dude? That'd be a lot nicer.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm taken now, Dean. I'm taken now, so I'm good.
What was some of yours?
Good. Well, okay, I'm saying,
So Ben, I'm right there with you though, in that I'm both excited and nervous, and I know I'm sure Zach and Dean are feeling this way, in that this con has grown maybe 6 times what it was last year.
Yeah,
am I exaggerating? Like
no, not at all.
So many more people. So last year we were kind of able to be a little more nimble, like, hey, we could just go do this. I know when we were trying to put together an agenda for last year, we got some shit like, why are you guys being so rigid? It's like this year we had to, because there's so many people.
Yeah. And the tough part is, like, I've planned events for 1,000 people. Like I get it, but you can't make everyone happy. And I know, like, when we showed the agenda, we've been showing the agenda for months, and just this week people are like, oh, well, how come this isn't on there? How come we can't do this? And it's like, guys, we have to think, like, we can't just show up to anywhere with 30 people, right? We have
30
to
guys.
30.
If we were gals, maybe we could get in. 30 dudes, you ain't getting in anywhere.
Yeah, so
we're storming the restaurant at that point.
Yeah, so it's I hope that people are happy. I don't want it to be, I keep having this nightmare that it's going to be like, what is it?
That you're naked in front of everybody.
Fire Festival.
Firefest, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't want anyone to be disappointed. I want, I'm thinking like this roster of gifts, man, like it's pretty good. So should be really exciting. I showed Ben his gift earlier. I'm almost done with it. Rainer's saying all OxCon attendees get 10% off in my shop on Saturday when you come to visit. I love that.
Cool.
So
Bro,
yeah,
did you see his new shop? It's like twice the size of his first one.
Looks crazy.
He sent me a video, but I haven't had a chance to
I don't know if I've
watch
seen
it yet.
Oh yeah,
But
it's gonna be huge.
Yeah, we'll be sure to plug Rainer's new shop next week, and it should be fun. I mean, there's some things that we may need to split the party at some point. I want to do a kind of a private, intimate stream with just us and Eddie, and
how intimate are we talking here?
Like I want to see if it's truly a Magnum.
Strategically busy though.
I want to see your whispering eye intimate.
I want to see your. Anyways, So it should be fun. I'm really excited. Yeah, it's just let me recap the fucking Thursday. We're renting a whole movie theater to watch the Harmony D special. You fucking guy! I said with Eddie. You fucking guy. We're renting a whole movie theater to ourselves to watch the Harmony Despecialized Empire Strikes Back. We're gonna barbecue at my house. Please stop. Whoever's doing that. We have Friday rather. We're going to San Antonio, explore the city. You know, there's a lot of historic stuff in San Antonio. A lot of sites that we'll be seeing. Saturday doing all the collection stuff. Sunday, all kinds of debauchery that's going to be happening. So I'm so excited. I can't wait. And then Monday everyone's flying home. So I hope that everyone that's coming has a good weekend. I hope that we have a safe weekend, obviously. And I look forward to receiving everyone at OxCon.
Wow, receiving everyone.
Yeah. With open arms.
With arms wide open.
I'm glad you got that. That's a point.
Yeah, I do just worry about.
So you my BH with arms.
Wow.
Well,
cannot wait. But yeah, just in
your
terms of
what?
the
my BH.
What did he say?
That wasn't me. That's
perfection. But yeah, just the amount of streaming that we could do. I think just given the amount of people, it's going to be a challenge. So we'll see if we can overcome.
One thing I do not expect to have a stream every day. Like just flat out, I'm telling you right now. I bought a GoPro for this weekend. Like that's probably going to be how you guys are going to digest most of the content, realistically. Yeah. So we'll. What I really want to do, because I think we're gonna go with Dean to Bucky's. If we can all fit in one car, it would be cool to mount a camera and then just like chat while we're driving and record that. I think that'd be really cool.
Sick.
But we'll see. It's there's a lot. So
carpool karaoke with Zach.
You're on mute, Dean.
I don't think that's possible. I'm gonna have, I think, Rainer and my sister, so I can only fit 2 more
to go to Bucky's.
Yeah.
Oh, well, fuck me then.
You can strap me to the roof. I'm Canadian.
I can fit Marco and Ben or Marco and Eddie.
So we're renting an 8-person SUV and Danny Lee's driving it. I'm a bit
Stretch
scared
limo.
about that too.
Danny Lee's driving, you guys?
That seems kind of racial.
It's because he's old. That's the only reason.
No, it'd be racial if they didn't let him drive.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
I thought we were watching Mask of the Phantasm.
You freaked me out for a
I
second.
completely forgot about Miss Doubtfire, if I'm being honest. I've seen it, though.
Now I know how it feels for people to not watch my choices. Now I know.
Did you watch the movie, Ben?
I watched it. I watched it.
It was last week you said that we're going to do the viewer, where the viewer picks the video.
That's this week.
Yeah, since you said it last week, I was like, oh, we don't have one this week. Totally forgot. But I've seen this movie. It's a classic.
I need to clarify. The basketball game may not happen. We talked about it, and we're all old and out of form. I'm not trying to blow my Achilles out. So
speak for yourself.
Again,
I'm going to the gym after this.
We have to, weigh our options, Alvin. But there'll be a lot of footage, hopefully, and hopefully one day it sees the light of day because I don't edit because I don't make content. Troubled that he has little access to his children, divorced Daniel Hillard hatches an elaborate plan with the help of his creative brother Frank. He dresses as an older British woman and convinces his ex-wife Miranda to hire him as a nanny. Mrs. Doubtfire wins over the children and helps Daniel become a better parent. But both Daniel and his nanny persona must meet different parties at the same restaurant, his secrets may be exposed. I made it a point not to watch Robin Williams' film since he passed. It makes me so incredibly sad that the circumstances surrounding his passing. I don't think that, like, it's just so much talent, and like this movie shows that talent. Like in the beginning, the opening scene, fucking mind blowing, right? He's doing the different voices,
the animation,
he's doing the voiceover.
Piss off, Lou.
Yeah, this is a special movie. It was tough to watch because, I know it's not supposed to be like, it is like the beginning is just hard, right? I'm very fortunate. Like both my parents are married, but it's a real situation that people, some people have broken houses, right? Their father's on their life or whatever. And the movie kind of sets it up like, he got fired from this job. He has no place to live. Like you only get to see your kids 1 day a week. And it hit home for me where he's like, hey, I have not been away from my kids more than a day since they've been born. And now you're telling me it's not even a split custody, which I think in that case is probably the best case circumstance. It's a 1 day a week, and it's tough. But I think the movie's good. It's kind of like that hijinks at the end where they have to be at the same place at the same time. He's switching back and forth, and it's a good movie. I don't know. It's just tough seeing Robin Williams, one of my all-time favorite actors. To me, I really, I want to say once Vivi wanted to watch Jumanji, and I think since he died, this is the second time I've watched one of his films. And then maybe once when she was a kid, the museum movie, the first one with Ben Stiller. But I try not to watch it. I think it's just such a horrible tragedy and such a loss of, fuck you, Eddie. I don't know. Go ahead, Dean.
Yeah, this movie, classic. I think this, like, growing up, this was like one of the VHS tapes that we watched over and over and over again. For those of you who don't know what a VHS tape is, just kidding.
Ben still watches them.
Yeah.
We're gonna show Ben Blu-rays on Thursday.
I remember the first time I watched this, I was probably like way too young. So the prosthetics scared the shit out of me. But when I got a little older, it was, I could see the humor in it. I think there's that scene where I think he's in his apartment and he's like rushing to put on the outfit, and it's like fake titties are flopping everywhere, and it's just so ridiculous. Like the premise of the movie is so funny, but like Zach said, it's really not funny at all. It's depressing. But the links,
and it hit hard for me as a dad. Like I was like, because I saw this movie once when I was younger, but it always like when people talk about it, it's like almost a comedy, and to me I'm like, damn, this movie's kind of fucked up. Like everyone's treating him like shit. He's like this happy dude. It just made me feel bad in the beginning.
Yeah, and I don't want to be that guy, but a lot of media portrays fathers as like dirtbags. So to see a movie where the father is doing absolutely everything possible to spend time with his children, even though it's like kind of fucked up and super weird, it's almost refreshing to see like an actually good father figure in a movie. But yeah, there's a lot of really memorable scenes, like when he puts it's like chili powder in the guy's food.
Fucking has that allergic reaction. He's fucking dying.
Yeah, I think that's when all the shit hits the fan. But
that scene just gives me anxiety just thinking about it. Him going back and forth.
Dude, for real. What's Sally? It's Sally Field, isn't it?
Sally Field.
Mm-hmm. Man, back in the day, such a babe.
She was.
But yeah, I remember. It was really weird to say because most movies with children, the kids just fucking ruin the movies for me.
Bro, the little girl,
super adorable. All these kids are great.
Oh, is it really? Bro, I had to Google if that was Zelda Williams. I don't know why, but just the way that they were on screen together, and also the casting is excellent because I could see them actually being the kids, like the way they looked.
Yeah,
it was pretty good.
Yeah, I actually did not mind the kids in this movie. Again, admittedly, it's been a long time since I've seen it, but I just, like Zach said, it's really not a funny movie, like at its core, but it's presented in a very funny way, and it's a feel-good movie. You don't feel like shit watching it, even though it's very dark and kind of, it's super classic. I love this movie. Is his brother the one with the raspy voice? Is that his brother?
Yeah.
I love that
Harvey.
actor. He's not in enough stuff, or at least not anymore.
He was in Independence Day too, which I just watched recently.
he was.
David.
Yeah, holy shit. Yeah, he's got such a recognizable voice.
Harvey Feinstein.
Is that
I
his
don't know
name?
if that's his name, but yeah, I don't know.
Or Firestein, I'm sorry. I was like, bro, Harvey Weinstein. That's a tough nut.
Yeah, super classic movie.
I love this movie. It's one of my favorites from childhood. I'm with you, Zach. When Robin Williams passed away, that was one of the hardest celebrity deaths I've ever experienced, because he was such a pinnacle figure in so many movies that I loved. This movie, I can't remember what it's called now, where he actually explores the afterlife after his wife commits suicide, and that's a really heavy movie, but it's also an excellent one and a kind of a cool.
Is that 1 hour photo?
No. I'll find out the name of it and let you guys know later. But cool photo or cool movie, anyways. But this one
Eddie
in particular,
says, "I literally hate everything about how you guys are describing this movie." Well,
so like my family was split when I was younger, so it did hit home because as a kid you always kind of wonder like, did one of the parents do something wrong? Is there a way for them to reconcile? Will they ever get back together? And like these kids obviously had that question kind of throughout, like you were saying, Dean, like so many dads in movies are portrayed as shitheads. Like this guy actually like wanted to, try and be there and be present, and just kept, taking the L's, right? And so seeing him go through this transition into like this Mrs. Doubtfire character, it's cool because obviously the lesson of the film is that like he truly learns what his family needed and what his wife needed in order to have kind of a cohesive household, and yet he could only give that to her and his family as Mrs. Doubtfire or separately as the dad. And I like that he does get custody at the end. I think that's great, but the journey is fun to watch. The scene where he's getting his makeover and he's like several different like looks of women, and I mean he looks like Robin Williams in drag for like most of them, which is hilarious. And then they finally get to the Mrs. Doubtfire one, and looks pretty good. So for this film, I would say if somehow you've missed it, it's an excellent one. It's a good morality story. It's funny, and I love Robin Williams. So happy I watched it again.
Great pick, Ben. Honestly, one of my favorite Robin Williams films, and one of my favorite films growing up. Looking at this through a 2023 lens, like I'm not sure that you could do this film in that it may be politicized, but it's like a really innocent, sweet film. Like you said, there's some really depressing undertones when it comes to his relationship with his family and him not being able to do the right thing. But yeah, at the end of the day, there's just so many memorable scenes. When he prepares the Chinese food and puts it out like it's his own, right? Italian, right? Is that I'm forgetting which was the meal that he puts together. But anyways, when he puts
like from the takeout meal,
the takeout.
Yeah, I think it's Italian.
Okay, there you go. So when he puts all the Italian food out, really memorable scene. Like overall, just a really fantastic film. If you've missed it somehow, like Ben said, definitely go back and watch it. And then a really great point about these kids. I know the younger two kids definitely have seen them in other things. And I'm drawing a blank. I know Matilda, I forget where the boy's from. But then the older daughter is pretty great as well. So yeah, they're kind of that emotional core and really kind of a really strong part of this film overall. So yeah, really, really glad we went back and revisited this one.
Totally. She was Harriet the Spy as well, wasn't she? Or is that a different actress?
Don't remember.
She was not Harriet the Spy. That's a different actress.
Was it a different actress?
But she was... she was something else.
I loved her in Matilda. I mean, that's a classic movie.
The older daughter, I'm looking it up right now. The older daughter was also in Independence Day.
Independence Day? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Who does she play in Independence?
Russell, the guy who was like the girl. The crazy pilot's daughter, and she's going to lose her virginity before the world ends. That's kind of her whole character story.
Yeah. Look at that.
Why did you remember that so specific?
I literally just watched Independence Day like 2 days ago.
Oh,
they don't celebrate it. They don't celebrate it over there.
We don't.
Two kind of countries, Dean.
It's Canada Day.
So did we? Everyone went.
Yeah.
We have. Yeah. Eddie, you're unbearable, my guy. We have Across the Spider-Verse, right? Part 1 or just whatever. This Thursday, and then next Thursday will be the fans' choice. So if you're still with us here, other than Eddie, because he doesn't deserve it, but nominate a film, and we'll put up a poll real quick and see what you guys want to see, and what's available for us to stream. While you guys are doing that, we will we'll talk about the people that keep the network going, Dean.
The sweet Patreonies. They're super fucking cool. Sorry. Yeah, I'll give a quick shout out to Ian CV, Renee Mendez, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, Equan, Chris Valencerino, Ben Thomas, Chris Letty, David Jones, Sam Giz, Daminator, Joao Bretta, Thomas Clark, Eric Switzer, Six Guns, Figs, Billy Badfish, Toy Cartel, Sweet Danny Lee, Deanie Martin, Stephen Krapp, Big Ol' Fern, Cesar Marquin, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Bomaski, Victor Gregorio, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Erwin Azucena, The Illustrious Rainer, Alan Morgan, Tukothri, Wa, Derek B, Aries Portillo, Alvin J, Jazz Carroll, Joe Ridley, Pablo Meza, D-Rock, Matt Clevenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PO, Scott Smith, Don Maton, Stephen Percha, Sean USP. My dog is going crazy.
That was Kevin. Oh my god, I thought that was your stomach.
No, it was Kevin.
I was like, damn.
Once I start reading, he gets excited because he knows that I'm going to.
Is that your Dean figure, Ben?
What the heck? How dare you? Hey,
that was one of your lookalikes from today.
He just needs a beard.
Oh, was it really?
That's the guy.
It's funny because Zach and I were talking about him this morning. Sean Usby, Scott Bradley, Stephen Marina Stanley, Eddie Manzanares, Louis Bennett, Chip Parent, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi the Judgmental, and Brenton Palmer. I don't know what happened there.
Is Zach frozen?
Is Zach frozen?
He is frozen.
Oh, he's totally frozen.
Oh, you hate to see it.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. I don't even know where to go from here.
It's the, I don't have the slides.
I don't have the slides.
It's the
kick him
YouTube
out.
channel members.
He's probably still talking right now. He's thinking
he probably is.
Uh-oh, poor guy.
Hate to see it. Oh, there he goes.
I think his internet took a shit. I don't have the slides. You guys
Which is funny because we read it every week. So at this point,
I can pull up an old video and do it that way.
There we go. I like
do you guys
that.
have any shout outs that you wanted to go over before?
Just happy birthday to that little fucker Eddie. Hope he's having a good one. Having a
he
good
woke up with the wrong side of the bed on his birthday. Like, what the hell?
He's always going to be that guy. He's just a contrarian, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
He is one of those guys. I was being a contrarian today, and he was like, I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Yeah, it's when you laughed at my subject for head sculpts. You hate to see it.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm trying to... You can only zoom so far on the YouTube video. Here we go. We
need like a grinding to a halt button or something, you know.
Oh god.
Okay, YouTube channel members. We got the YouTube channel members. We got Absolute Irwin, Alvin J, Andres IB, Andrew Gibo, Benjamin Hansen, Big Ol' Fern, Blurred Dad Life, Bob Dylan, CC3PO again, what an angel, Chris V, Cram, CT603, DJ Daminator, Dante's Boneyard, Eclectic Collector, that's hard to say, Equan, Fat Batman, Gare Bear, Gotham Cenobites, Jake, Just Another Friday Night, Justin Sports Card, KJ Smith, LV Avenger 702, Mark Pearson, Money Mendez in the chat, Mr. Mom's Collectibles Night, OG Fern, OMFG Rick, 1 6-Figure Focus, Paul Schreiber, Philip the Fool, S-Beam, Sam Gist, Slifer, SpongeBob, Square Balls, Sunnyvale Russ, The Ben Thomas Show, and Toy Cartel. Oh, and Zeke. Sorry, I didn't want to miss Zeke. What an angel. There's the, if you want to join the YouTube channel members, we got the Peanut Gallery for $2.99. And if you're a Patreon-y, it's 99 cents. There's loyalty badges, emojis. You have fun in the chat, chatting with all of us. We got all our shows. We got live unboxings on Mondays. the live show, which you're listening to or watching right now, Tuesday nights. Wednesdays, we have After Dark. Thursdays, we got rotating shows, OFAC and Small Talk. We got the boys over across the pond. They talk about all the stuff the English collectors have to deal with. And Small Talk is everything we don't talk about here. Figure arts, Marvel Legends, Star Wars Black Series, vintage collection, whatever.
Are they allowed to talk about NECA yet?
Mezco. I think they are. I think they are.
I'll tune in.
We also have shows. Friday is just another Friday night that joins us. That's a fantastic show. If you guys watch it, I love tuning in and just chatting with them. It literally just feels like hanging out with two buddies. It's such a fun time. Saturdays we have all kinds of stuff going on Saturdays. We have Ox PD sometimes that we do. Live and Let Dice, which is our D&D stream. A lot of people love that. Bricks and Brews, that's I think Sundays. I think they do it on Sundays. And then Question of the Week with Brenton. So we got a lot of content that you guys can get through. Zach's back. Hey, buddy.
Yeah, sorry. You were like, brrr, it's not like you're doing a remix. I was like, wow, look at this.
Oh, that's hilarious. I went back and loaded an old video because I was like, I don't have the slides. So it's like, but we show them at the end of every show, so let me just load up an old episode.
I'm trying to find
I didn't
some
do that all off
suggestions.
memory.
No, you did great. You did really good. Let's see here. Give me some suggestions in the chat as well.
Oh, for a movie of the week?
Correct.
Oh, yeah. Let's see what they said. Barbie. Is Barbie even streaming yet? I do want to watch Barbie. The original Willow? That'd be dope.
We've seen Willow already.
Oh, have we? Damn it.
Bro, Barbie did not live up to the hype for me.
Inception's pretty good.
Okay, really?
Here we go.
You didn't like it?
I'm going to put Fast and Furious on there.
I might wait to pick it. I'm probably going to have to. Have any of you seen the movie Awake with Hayden Christensen?
No.
Holy
Unfamiliar.
shit. My mom has it on her Amazon account. She's like, you have to watch this movie. And I was like, I don't know. She's like, just watch it. Because I was watching Anakin stuff, and she's like, oh, he's in this movie. And dear God, I was so like not interested into watching it, and within like the first like 30 minutes, I was on the edge of my seat. It was so good.
Dude, let's watch it. Who's the main actor in Jumper?
Hayden Christensen.
Anakin, yeah.
Okay,
what's the movie called? Awake?
Awake, yeah. It's Jessica Alba, Aquaman. What's his name? Not Aquaman, but the guy who played the original
Jason Momoa,
Iron Man.
Oh, it's hard out here for.
I always forget his name.
Marco, is Awake on Netflix?
Let me take a look.
I don't know. It was. She had it on her Amazon. It probably isn't my luck. But holy shit, it was fantastic. Yeah, it's who else is in it? Jessica Alba, Hayden Christensen, the original Rhodey from Iron Man 1.
No, there's no. Yeah, it's not on Netflix.
We'll do Fast and Furious, Inception,
McGavin.
Wolf of Wall Street, and Dungeons and Dragons as our fans' choice.
Ooh, Dungeons and Dragons. Please pick Dungeons and Dragons.
There we go. So go and vote on that. We'll give you guys a few minutes. Ben, if you have to get going, I know you said you have a gym appointment.
Gotta get my gains in before I see you guys. You know what I'm saying? One quick shout out though before I go for the YouTube channel, the Jedi Knights Watch. Awesome dude, and I've been watching his Wolfpack Wednesday show recently, at least on replay because I'm always busy. But great show. Awesome. If you guys have missed it after or before After Dark or after Dark on Wednesdays, go over to Jedi Knights Watch and check out his Wolfpack Wednesday show. Pretty cool.
What does he do on that show?
It's a panel show similar to what we have, but I found like his topics are really well thought of, and the guys do a really good job of like having some really good conversation and community involvement and all of the things, and switches it up a little bit. So definitely recommended. What is Dean laughing about so hard over there?
Zach, what is he doing?
Oh, well, you like said it like we were just supposed to know. I was like, I go on.
Just go over and watch it. Subscribe to his fucking channel.
I don't. You think I have all this time to just?
Man.
I got a wife. I got.
You've been watching Merlin for months now. Like
Ben, you fucking
eventually.
shut your fucking mouth. It's piling up, Ben. Wow. Maybe we should watch the finale at Oxford.
You're gonna show me the ocarina and smash it on the floor.
Goddamn right. I'm about to go to the room and smash it in.
Smash it.
Eddie, I think we talked about it. We were telling Marco he needed to watch it, but we didn't watch it.
I didn't.
I got ready to rock whenever we watch it. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I bought it.
Nice.
I
Wait,
played
did
it.
I? Or did I just rent it? Fuck.
I mean, did you watch it?
Oh, yeah, I've seen it like 3 times.
Oh, yeah, you did, of course. All right, Ben, we'll let you go. And subscribe to Wolfpack or whatever Ben just said. I was not even
Jedi Knights Watch.
Wolfpack plugging some random channel on our channel.
Subscribe to the Ben Thomas Show too, because I'm now over 2,000.
What if those people end up being bad people and then we just plug
They're
them?
nice guys.
They're nice guys. They're our
awesome.
friends. They're friends of the show.
Our friend, not my friend. I don't know those guys.
Okay.
Well, those guys.
Last time I ever suggested damn thing again. I love the community.
What is that channel called? I want to look it up real quick.
The Jedi Knights Watch.
Jedi Knights Watch.
Knights spelled Knigth. Just
motherfucker, they should be shouting us out. They got way more subscribers. What the hell?
I'm telling you, they're cool.
He's been a big supporter of 16fix, of fan of Collecting Weekly. Graham's a good guy.
Very good dude.
I think I know this guy.
Sorry for Zach. He's kind of a dingus.
Well, we can't just be plugging anybody. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The last time
I didn't ask permission. I just
the last time that we did that. You know, not the last time, but it could get a little wild.
Zach actually said no new friends. He actually made us send out 2 Oxcon agendas. One's a dummy one.
Motherfucker, that was you. You made okay. Ben, if you have to go, you have to go, because I'm about to get in some shit. Marco made 2 fucking chats, and it added everyone to both chats. I'm like, why do we have fucking 2 chats?
Wait, what's the other chat you're referring to?
Like 6 chats. I don't know what you.
There's so many Oxcon. I'm in 2
at least
of
4.
them.
You're not. There's at least 4 you're not even included in. Zach, which you hate to see.
Jesus,
it's true.
It's true. I believe it. I'm gonna get left.
I don't know why Zach's complaining, because he used to do that shit to me all the time.
Because you would cry that you weren't included.
I'm like,
you would cry that you weren't included. You'd be like, "You guys are making decisions without me." I'm like, "Well, yeah, because you don't want to be added."
Talk like
yeah,
that.
you do. That was a great impression. That was a great.
Oxcon's going to be canceled before it ever even started. Yeah,
we usually always have a big fight right before Oxcon, so this is pretty par for the course. To be honest.
Yeah, we're Gucci. Don't worry about us.
Looks like D&D is winning this. There's 46 people, just 10 votes. Come on, guys. TK says that was Dragons and Dungeons. Anyways, all right, we'll do Dungeons and Dragons for the fans' choice, and then it's back to my pick, so we'll announce that next week. D&D, it is a very fun film. You don't have to really know anything about Dungeons and Dragons to enjoy it. On the surface level, it's enjoyable. If you know about D&D, I think it's a little bit more enjoyable.
I didn't need to have watched like 5 or 8 seasons of a cartoon to understand and appreciate this.
Jesus.
No, I don't know what that's in a reference to, but
Ahsoka, obviously.
Oh, okay. I was like, the 80s show? No, it's not a sequel to that. Oh,
I thought you were gonna say like hit some of the Dungeons Dragons like Collecting Weekly episodes, which would probably help too, honestly.
Yeah,
it probably should, but I've already had Ahsoka spoiled for me, so I'm gonna get going.
Oh no, damn it!
Anakin is actually Darth Vader.
People think they're being vague.
Fuck, that was good.
People said they're being vague, but it's like, bro, you definitely spoiled it.
Yeah. Staying off social media until I watch.
I'm so confused by what Eddie's saying.
I'm watching
Eddie,
right after this.
Happy birthday. Happy,
I think Eddie's
33, 32, 31.
He might just be 30. Fuck, maybe 31.
I'm
I think
actually
he's probably
with
had
Eddie
a
on
few
that.
birthday drinks.
I'm with Eddie on that one. I thought we did do Dungeons and Dragons only a few weeks ago because I remember not really loving the film. Put it out there. I think we did like a month ago.
I'm
certain
that we didn't.
Because I don't know. I don't know why I would have watched it otherwise. Truthfully,
I'm not looking.
No, I'm just not a Dungeons and Dragons guy.
We need to make a list of all the fucking movies we've seen.
I know. I guess we'll get back to you. Worst case, it looks like we'll do the.
We did talk about the movie. I just don't know if we did it
officially. We talked about it, but
officially.
I don't think we did it officially.
Yeah. Okay.
Now you got me curious. Eddie said a couple weeks ago.
I remember that though too. Yeah.
I remember we also almost watched the what was it? A long time ago in the 80s, there was one. And we almost watched that one, but then we didn't because I think we couldn't find it streaming, and I didn't want to buy it.
I love how there's 42 people watching us try to decide if this is a movie
I was going to say, this is really behind the scenes
I went
type
all
of
the way
shit.
back to 278. Hang on, I'm back at 278. Let's see.
The show went off the rails when you froze earlier there, Zach. We were on a good roll, and then...
Movie of the week last week was Big Short. The week before was The Flash.
Big Short, more like too long.
The week before that was Puss in Boots. The week before that was The Sandlot. The week before that was Reservoir Dogs. The week before that was Conan. The week before that was... Did we do? I think we skipped the movie that week. Yeah, because the last thing we talked about... Oh, that was
Conan?
that was when, all the things with my son happened. We skipped it that week, and then the week before was The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
You know what? We talked about Dungeons and Dragons when we saw the Chris Pine figure.
Yeah.
Yes,
then we got into the
exactly.
subject. Yeah.
But we were telling Marco to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
That's correct.
Wow.
Oh, here we go. Rainer says, I
bottom of that.
almost forgot. I'm doing a giveaway at the shop for anyone who shows up. I assume he means on Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday.
Rainer, clarify quickly. For Oxcon, there you go. Will be an autographed Star Wars item. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. I like that. Let's see here. Christian says, have you all seen Night at the Roxbury and Superstar?
Classics.
I'm familiar with Superstar.
Come on, Superstar is
Superstar
an SNL
with, what's
one
her
too.
face? Yeah.
Molly Shannon.
Molly Shannon, thank you.
1988? The Karen Carpenter story?
No. She puts her hands under her underarms when she gets nervous.
And then smells them.
That might be my new fetish. Anyways,
what did he say?
anyways, oh, maybe I have seen this one. I recognize this girl. Although, wasn't she also in Not Another Teen Movie? Anyways, Will Ferrell's looking hella young. I'm sorry, this whole show is derailed. I'm Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Marco.
And I'm Ben.
We'll catch you guys on the next episode.
Bye.